we call the Twilight Zone.
Steve Kerr, and you look at Steph and Clay, and even Draymond with his lack of performance.
He's at 2 in a row. 7 points for him. The twirling Doncic. Melting into the defense. The front carry. Strikes. Swing, fly ball. Well hit left center. Ronald Acuna has homer. Rookie rushing record for the Steelers.
Look, he came into this game averaging 3.67 yards per carry. 42nd out of 49 qualified rushers.
Freeze to begin the third quarter. It has been incredible. Here he comes again. Oh, goodness. And the Greek basketball god. And he was a great guy that teaches the
What is up, Rally Towel fam? Good evening. Welcome to the show. We have got a fantastic show to put on for you guys. First and foremost, cheers, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers. Can I just say,
Yeah.
you all are looking so beautiful tonight.
Let's go.
Beautiful.
I
Bunch
love
of
this.
dapper young men in this.
I found this
in
Christmas
bitch.
sweater at Walmart for $10.
Wow.
Let's
Beautiful.
go. What a
Brian.
find.
Brian, thank you for
I've had this
sharing
for
the
a couple
stream.
years. It's one of my best finds.
It's a good one.
Walmart.
It's a great one.
All right. So if you guys didn't see by the post, Brian, I won't say the first part, but let's go. Merry Christmas.
Good day, baby. Let's go. It's right here.
Boy, that is an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
It's not the most attractive thing I've ever seen.
You
We
set
got a
him
good
up
one.
for that one.
We got a good one for you tonight, guys. If you didn't see by the post we put up earlier this week, we are doing the Christmas movie draft. Now, I imagine this is going to take up a majority of the first half of the show, just based off of the tangents we're going to go on. But should be good, and then we'll get into our picks a little bit later. But guys, here it is, the Christmas movie draft.
So what's
Corey,
the order?
Will you please give us the draft order?
So I believe the order for this evening, Bobby, of course, getting the first overall pick again from this fucking random order that we do. Bobby gets first overall pick, followed by Aaron at number 2, Todd at 3, and then I will be 4th, and then we will serpentine draft this, and I'll bring it back for the second round. And we're going to do 4 rounds of Christmas movies. And Ryan, go fuck yourself with the Christmas Story sucks comment. I'm literally wearing a Ralphie sweater right now.
That is actually incorrect. It's a good movie.
Well, we'll get there. I'm sure we'll discuss as we go.
Where it is in
and
the power rankings.
we'll see where it falls. So, all right, Bobby, get us started, man. Christmas movie draft. What are you taking 1-1?
This is the easiest pick in the world for me. Is my favorite movie growing up. Watch it every year. This has to be Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Number 1 on my big board as well, Bob.
It has to be. I mean, Christmas Vacation is the best. You know, hey kids, look a deer. That's how we start the movie, and it just keeps building and getting better and better and better.
You can't see the line, can you, Russ? You can't see
You
it.
can. You sure can.
It was like the one movie that your dad would be like, all right, well, you can watch this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun fact for all you viewers, obviously with the name Todd, I get a lot of comments around this time of year about asking a very simple question. Why is the carpet all wet? Right?
Why is
It's
the
a simple
carpet all wet?
question.
Why is the carpet wet, Todd?
So
I don't know, Margot.
So Mary and I got custom
I
made
don't know,
sweatshirts.
Margot.
There's custom sweatshirts that are worn yearly at the Freedy Christmas Eve celebration that say, "Why is the carpet wet, Todd?" And my sweatshirt says, "I don't know, Mary." It's a beautiful thing.
You know what
Excellent.
we call that, Todd?
Well
Christmas
done.
Eve. We used to always do a party for that too. Christmas Adam.
There you
Adam
go.
40.
I like that a lot. So Mary's family's Christmas Eve usually coexists around like when fantasy football playoffs are going on, right? There's a
Hell
family
yeah.
league, and I'm in first place. And I believe that yearly the league winner gets nothing but beverages supplied to him for the whole evening. So I'm looking forward to on Friday just
Very nice.
never not having a drink in my hand.
Bring a little bell. It's
Yes.
festive and it's assertive.
or just get one taped to your chair and just kind of slouch over and just go like,
Yeah, there you go.
After a while, I could just be slouched over in a chair in general.
Yeah,
So
you'll just look like fucking Breaking Bad. What's his name? Hector.
Saltamaka or
you know what I'm
what is it?
talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
grandpa?
talking- Yeah.
Saltalamaka or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think so,
So-
but sure.
So real quick,
All right.
Christmas Vacation. Was this number one on all your big boards? Where does
Number
this
one
fall
on
for
mine.
you guys?
Number one on mine.
I had a trouble. Yeah, it's right up there. I'm actually very happy Bobby took it because,
Helped you decide.
well, yeah, I think I would have taken this next movie anyway, but I would have felt like I was reaching a little bit.
Gotcha.
All right.
So
Well,
it's actually it's fourth on mine for what it's worth.
Ooh,
Okay, that's fair.
I'm
It's a no doubt first rounder.
Yeah.
It has some character concerns. It might have fallen down a couple people's boards, but the talent's there.
Yeah.
appreciate. Okay. All right. Well, Aaron, without further ado, second pick in the Christmas movie draft.
It's the 1994 classic, The Santa Claus.
Fantastic.
Great pick.
That
Great.
you know,
I just love it
was
so much.
Close. Those were my top two. Those were top two.
So Christmas Vacation, I would argue, is probably the better, funnier movie. But there's just something about the nostalgia of when it came out,
Yep.
believing in Santa Claus, which obviously is real. Obviously, for all our listeners out there, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But Tim Allen is like our Santa Claus because it's like that was the movie of our generation of it
Yep.
coming out, and this was
Yep.
also like peak Tim Allen Home Improvement, where this is right before Toy Story, and he's just like on top of the world. So the Santa Claus is one of those movies that when you watch it as a kid, it's really, really funny because it has all the beats of a children's Disney comedy. And then you rewatch it a little bit when you're older and
What's
you
up,
kind of pick
Krat?
up on these things. Like it does a really good job of explaining Christmas for kids that have divorced parents, right? Like that's kind of a topic that doesn't really get touched
That's
on
it.
a lot.
What Charles just said is perfect. Most raunchy followed by most wholesome.
But there are some
most raunchy. I do not think that's the most raunchy Christmas movie that exists.
No. There's a more raunchy one.
No, I've got one on the big
tonight.
board.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
I know what you're talking about. It's
We know
on
what
my
we're talking
board.
about.
It's on my board as well. It's just, well, I get it. The question is
But-
probably not.
Have you guys watched the Santa Claus this holiday season, or when was the last time?
Yeah,
guys have
absolutely.
seen it?
I watched
Okay.
it last year. I haven't watched it yet.
So there's so many
I
things in that.
I have a 2-year-old, so I've definitely watched.
Of course. So there's a lot of beats in that movie that you, as an adult, you kind of realize. Like, my favorite is like in the beginning when they have to go to the Denny's, and it's all Asian businessmen
Yeah.
and dads who burnt the turkey.
Yeah. Dude with his fucking
Like,
hands.
There's so
Right.
many, there's so many
Yeah.
funny things that are like when he's driving off in the sleigh the first night and he's like, tomorrow morning I'm getting a CAT scan. Like I didn't know what that meant when I was a kid, but now I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's hilarious.
One
And
that
there's just
ages well.
It
Yeah.
ages well, and it's just one of those movies that I can watch every Christmas. That's probably the movie I'm most excited to watch.
Yeah.
Now, Christmas Vacation, I think, is probably the best movie of those, but there's just something that it hits my like Christmas bone.
I mean, even at the
Um,
beginning when he's going to pick up Charlie and he's on the phone and he's like, "You
Yeah.
would not believe the traffic."
It's like, oh, here's the problem: 14 car pile up, and he's like, no traffic at all. It's a fantastic movie.
Great movie.
It's great.
Absolutely. All right, so we got Christmas Vacation off the board at number 1, Santa Claus at number 2, Todd number 3 pick in the 2022 Christmas movie draft.
Gentlemen, you know I'm all about business, so I'm going to get right to it. I'm picking Home Alone here at number 3.
Good
Not
pick.
wrong with that.
Good.
It's best available. It's consistent. It's wholesome, as Charles would put it. There's some great humor in there. Anytime that I can throw a Wet Bandit reference into any general conversation, I try my best to.
Yeah.
And it creates every time you bring up a Home Alone quote, it's followed by 5 or 6 additional Home Alone quotes, or just acting out a scene.
Sure.
It's close to home for me because Nick and I used to watch it all the time together. My brother and I used to watch it all the time together. So every time I watch it, I have a memory that coincides with it too. So
Sure.
that's a personal fave for me. That's my number one.
Good
It's my
pick.
personal favorite Christmas movie.
Good pick.
That was number 1 on your board, regardless.
It was, yeah.
I can respect
and
that.
I gave Aaron a little insight
I heard,
earlier this evening. and a text message about it. So I'm sure he had a little bit of an idea.
Yeah,
and honestly, that would have been that. It was Santa Claus Home Alone for me. So yeah.
So
I
I honestly think a big part of picking these movies is a lot of just nostalgia built into it. Like Home Alone means something
attachment to it as well.
Exactly. So like Home Alone means a lot to Todd, and Santa Claus means a lot to Aaron for sure. So I totally get that. I'm gonna finish up round one with an absolute banger. This could be 1-1, honestly. Just due to syndication numbers here. We're going with Elf. We're going Elf.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
great value.
This movie is phenomenal. It is absolutely son of a nutcracker. It's just fantastic. Francisco. That's fun to say. Yeah. All right, I'll call you in 5 minutes. It's just
Love you. Call you in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what we have to do here now is after every movie, I feel like everyone has to go around and name your favorite quote.
Yes. Okay. I like it. So I'm actually gonna attach for a second round pick. I thought maybe this one would go in the first round, but this is gonna be a second round pick. This is a lot of the nostalgia for me, one that I would watch all the time. Basically from Thanksgiving to Christmas as a kid, this movie was running in my VCR, and I had one of the VCR built into the TV where it would rewind the movie for you and then start playing it again. So I would just like wake up periodically throughout the night and just be at different parts of this movie. I'm going with The Grinch.
I thought that was.
Are we talking 1967 animated version?
No,
of
we're
the
talking
Grinch?
Jim Carrey Grinch, right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Jim Carrey Grinch. It is
Unbelievable. Love it.
unbelievable. I mean, especially as a kid,
that was going for me this round.
one of the best movies that I have ever seen in terms of Christmas time movies. So I'm going with Elf and then Grinch to round up.
Fun fact about that, which I'm sure most of you have probably already seen. Jim Carrey almost quit that movie.
Oh my goodness!
You guys don't know that.
I've just been delivered Christmas cookies for such a great round. Thank you, honey. And they're warm. I can smell them off the plate. This is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
He couldn't stand the costume. He had to have the CIA
I saw that today
and teach him and show him how to they train their operatives to take on torture.
Yes. Yeah. So they said that to smoke. So he said that he'd be sitting there in his yak hair costume with a fucking cigarette holder, a foot and a half out, just chain smoking, dressed as the Grinch. So phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal.
One of my favorite things of the Grinch too is as you get older, I've heard enough people say at no point did the Grinch say he hates Christmas. He hates people. And
we can all relate.
That.
Yeah, we can all relate. I think one of the best lines that I never really got as a kid and then grew up and got was where he's fucking with all the mail and he's sitting there going, jury duty, chain mail, eviction notice, jury duty. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
I love when he's doing the echo callback.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Hell yeah.
Oh, solid. All right, Todd, what you got? Round two.
Yes, sir.
Second pick in round two is going to go to Mr. Tim Burton himself. It's going to be Nightmare Before
No!
Christmas.
Aaron is so mad, dude. I know Aaron was hoping he'd get that one, dude.
You're not going to get it, buddy. Again, this one has a special attachment in my heart. I think
burns, dude.
we all grew up watching this movie, right? There's no way that
Movie creeped me out as a kid, so I kind of stayed away from it.
Really?
I did too. Yeah.
It wasn't on my big board just because I didn't personally enjoy it as a child.
Oh, I fucking love it, dude.
yeah, it's great. I mean, I get it though because one of my favorite quotes of that movie is instead of screams, I swear I can hear music in the air.
Oh,
That's kind of creepy, right?
it's beautiful at the same
But
time.
it's beautiful. Yeah, it gives this warm feeling that Jack Skellington hasn't had in his brittle bones before, and it's a great animated film. Great animated. It's in my top 5 of animated movies of all time.
Good pick.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
It is.
And it's great because you can start watching it at Halloween. And then you can turn over.
It kind of fits both holidays.
It 100% does, and that's really the purpose of the reason the movie was made, or at least why I think Tim Burton wrote it. Which, funny enough, it's his name is all attached to it, but he didn't direct it. He didn't. It was just his popularity
movie, right?
at the time.
Yeah.
I think he wrote it, and then he was filming something else at the time and they couldn't. He
Edward
didn't have time to do it.
Scissorhands, right?
Which I've seen on tons of Christmas lists, and I'm like, that's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
it's
not.
Christmas
Good
scene.
movie.
There's one
Christmassy.
Christmas
There's
scene in it,
shades
yeah.
of Christmas in it. But it's just
There's
it's one of those movies
nightshades of Christmas in
the
it.
reason they made it was because after Halloween is right when you start seeing Christmas, and it's like there's
Yeah.
no breathing time at all.
Yep.
So it really does work. In
Great
that
segue.
regard.
Absolutely.
Fuck,
All
dude.
right,
Well,
so
this
we've
kind of
got
throws a
Aaron
wrench
on the board. Third pick, round 2.
This kind of throws a wrench in everything.
I'm not sorry about it. I don't. It sounds like you're seeking an apology here. And
I'm not seeking an apology. I'm just so bummed out because I was like, I need this on my team. Like Corey knows. It's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Yes, I am aware.
So that's such a
Aaron,
bummer.
It just confirms that all the times that you and I agreed upon things, it's natural. It's organic.
That's true. All right, guys. I got to do this. This is also nostalgia.
Do it.
This is Charlie Brown Christmas.
Fantastic pick, Aaron. It was. I had a lot lower on my board, but it probably not justifiably. That's a great pick.
So, speaking of nostalgia, every year for Christmas when we'd be opening gifts on CD, we had the Charlie Brown Christmas album or whatever, and there's just something about the music and the soundtrack of that movie, and of course, just loving that Charlie Brown has the small sad Christmas tree, and it's just phenomenal, and I just love it so much. It's just it's one of those things that I can't wait to watch every year when it's on like ABC or whatever. Yeah. And it's not long and it doesn't take too much time to watch, but it's great. And then of course Snoopy and Woodstock getting into their hijinks. Who doesn't love it?
So Aaron brings up a good question. I think we can all answer very quickly. What was the CD that was playing at Christmas time in your households?
I had some like fucking mashup of just like a bunch of different artists. It was just like holiday songs. It wasn't like any particular.
Specific.
Yeah, wasn't anything specific.
So my mom used to play on vinyl the Carpenters' Christmas album.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
So
I was really hoping you were gonna go in sync there.
No, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. No. Carpenter's vinyl was a staple in the Gottschall household until she got a large CD player. Then it turned into one year for Christmas. She got the CD of the Carpenters. So
it just stayed the Carpenters through all forms of medium.
It's never not been the Carpenters. I didn't hear other Christmas music until I was probably in elementary school. That was the only thing I knew.
So we had that and what is it, Mannheim Steamroller, like all the time. That would just be
that one. Yeah, my grandpa bumped that shit constantly.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to round out the second round here. This was one of my favorites growing up, just because of Turbo Man. I wanted it. Jingle All the Way.
Wow.
Turbo Man.
Turbo.
I'm going to tell you right now, not even on my board.
That's
yeah,
fine.
me neither. But it was It was there.
I get it.
I get it.
I'm actively looking at it on my list right now. Not super far off of where Bobby's taken.
So okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It has everything to do with, the dad, trying to get the elusive item for his son. Just touches a place in my heart. So,
I dig it.
Appreciate it. Okay, so I have a question before I take my next pick.
Oh boy, it's Die Hard.
Yes. Is it a Christmas movie? Am I allowed to take it?
It's a Christmas movie.
Not to me, it's not.
To me, it's not. But I'm so tired of the argument.
I just don't give a fuck anymore. But here's my requisite as to why it is not a Christmas movie. You can watch it at any time of the year. Any time of the year, you can watch that movie. I mean, are you watching Elf in April? No, you're not.
You can.
Well,
you sure
can.
Yeah, you possess the ability.
Gestapo
to.
isn't going to break the door down.
We will ask the questions.
I'm taking Die Hard round.
Go for it. Go for it. It's fine. It's totally fine.
That's
it
fine.
exists
But
as a Christmas movie.
The problem with that is it opens the door to all of these other Christmas adjacent movies. Like we were just saying, like Edward Scissorhands. That is not a Christmas movie. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is not a Christmas movie.
It's not.
Like,
story about love
they're at a Christmas party. There's Christmas trees. It is based in December.
Bobby did research. He has references on hand right now.
There is a movie I have that's like my last pick because I don't think anyone will take it. That is border. It's Christmas adjacent, so I'm fine with it.
Okay.
It's fine. You know what happened here with Die Hard with me? I gave up on the argument. It's similar to why people just don't vote anymore. They're just tired. All right, we're just tired of the system, and I'm tired of hearing the shit about Die Hard being a Christmas movie. So just sure, it's a fucking Christmas movie. Take it, and it's yours.
Thank you, Bruce. He said it takes place on Christmas Eve at a Christmas party and has Christmas quotes.
You know what? There was zero question if anyone in the chat would have backed you up on this, that it would be Bruce. There was zero question in my mind that Bruce was like, yeah,
Love you, Bruce.
Yeah, it's a fucking Christmas.
Well, yeah, Bruce Walker, Bruce Willis. I mean, come on, dude. That's easy.
It's easy.
All right, Aaron. Second pick, round 3.
All right. This might be a little bit of a curveball for you guys. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I watched it for the first time last year, and I don't remember laughing so hard at a Christmas movie in a very, very long time. And I put it high on my big board, and it's the one that's remaining. And I'm going to go with The Night Before. Have you guys seen
Before? I haven't seen
Seth Rogen and
Joseph
Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
It is so fucking funny. Like, it is nonstop hilarious. It's your classic Seth Rogen movie where it's, dick jokes and it's hilarious. And he just goes on a crazy drug bender, and his wife is the blonde girl from Workaholics, and she's just hilarious in it.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really good movie. It's about like 3 friends who grew up together, and one of them, Seth Rogen becomes very successful. Their one buddy is a professional football player. And then there's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who just kind of never grew up, and he's just kind of like a loser piece of shit guy. And it's like their like last hurrah doing this like Christmas tradition where the 3 of them always got together because, he never had anybody's, to go with. And it's just really, really, really funny. And I'm going to go ahead and take it.
Hold on. There's something in the chat that needs to be addressed right now. If Home Alone is
this is the worst argument.
It's not even close. Die Hard and Home Alone. The whole point of Home Alone is valuing family at Christmas. That is the message in the film. Moving on.
The movie begins with the family leaving to go to France for Christmas while they all come home on Christmas.
Yeah.
And what's the excuses for why they're robbing all these houses?
Actually,
everyone's leaving for Christmas. Go ahead.
They're not. I don't believe they're headed to France in the first one. They're headed to Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's France. It's France. Because you remember she does the whole like, you are what the French would call.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
The second one is where they're headed to Florida.
Lost in New York. Right. So
10-4.
The Christmas lights, literally Macaulay Culkin talks to Santa, like he's like, I'm old enough to know how it works. You just report to Santa. Like, it's a Christmas movie.
Bruce will die on this hill.
Listen,
we've already given it to Die. Yeah, we've conceded it. Die Hard,
but I concede.
Bruce with a comment saying he saves his fucking wife for those listening on Spotify right now. Or
die on the hill. Die.
Enjoy it, like Alan Rickman. All right,
Alan Rickman.
All right, who's that? Todd.
That's me.
Todd is up. Third pick, round 3.
I believe I am taking the first movie that has a Christmas movie, a 100% Christmas movie that has been made decades before our lifetime here, fellas. I'm taking a classic. I'm taking A Christmas Carol.
Okay. Good pick.
Pure nostalgia. That's a movie that I watched with my dad very often growing up as well. Like,
how many times do you fall asleep in the middle of it? That's what I want to know.
You're taking the OG one, right? Because there's
like 1945 version.
Yeah, because there's a million iterations of it. That's what I'm saying to you.
Belly full of ham, a little glass of whiskey, and just a nap and A Christmas Carol.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, absolutely. It has a connection to me, but great lessons are to be made within A Christmas Carol. Don't be a dick. That is 100% the message of A Christmas Carol.
Fantastic.
Don't be a dick.
Fantastic. All right.
Hey, Corey, round out round. Well, you're up for 2. End of round 3, beginning of round 4.
So end of round 3, I'm going to go with what is probably one of the funniest Christmas movies I have ever seen. I'm going with Bad Santa. Yeah,
Fair.
fantastic watch.
Off my big
Absolutely
board.
fantastic watch. I mean, it's
Yeah, it wasn't on my big board either, but I get it.
it's so fucking funny. It just kills me every
Billy
time.
Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton is so good at just being a fucking dirtbag, right?
Yes,
Like he's
yes,
just
he is.
he plays that role fantastically. So I got to go with Bad Santa here.
And earlier when we were saying, raunchiest to most wholesome, obviously this was the raunchy movie. I think we
The
all had it.
raunchiest one. Yeah, absolutely the raunchiest one.
All right, starts off round 4.
To round things out on round 4, to start things off rather on round 4, I got a tough call here, but I'm gonna go a little bit more wholesome, and I'm gonna appeal to the masses. We've got a solid lineup here on this team. We've got Elf, Grinch, and we've got Bad Santa, all kind of in that comedy genre right now. We're gonna go a little bit more at the heartstrings. We're gonna go at the ladies here. Probably one of the best romantic comedy movies
Oh, I know. God damn it.
of all time.
Well, I know what you
And it takes place in Christmas. Boys, we're going with Love Actually.
Oh.
Absolutely.
I thought you were going with the holiday.
Get the fuck out. The holiday to Love Actually is it's like XFL to NFL. It's not even close. Not even, what? You think Jack Black is getting with Kate Winslet? Okay, good one. No, we're moving
Gives
on.
us all hope.
It gives us a Love Actually.
Cloris
is
Leachman is more
fantastic.
realistic.
Absolutely.
Movie.
Office references. I like that a lot.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Todd. So we got Love Actually off the board first, round 4. Todd, who you got?
Going with the Kurt Russell classic. I'm going Christmas Chronicles.
I don't even
Interesting.
know that one.
More new age. Yeah, more new age.
Good.
Yeah, that's it. So I was introduced to that movie early on in Mary and I dating, watching with my nephews when they were, 1 to 5, 6 years old. And it was one of my nephew's favorite movies. And I sat down and watched it for the first time. And I was like, man, Kurt Russell plays a solid Santa Claus.
He does. It's actually a really good movie. I like it.
And then I watched the second one. I was like, he solidified it for him. Like, Kurt Russell could actually be Santa Claus. We have no idea.
Yeah, they're both pretty darn good.
Never seen them together in the same room.
Santa Claus.
So.
Yeah. Who knows what'll happen?
Absolutely. All right, Aaron. Third pick.
All right. This is a
Round
pick
4.
that is for no one but myself. I don't even know if any of you guys have seen this movie. And here's the thing. I'm already looking at my board. We got a couple that came off the board earlier than we thought. But we're not going for the Twitter reaction article right after the draft that says Aaron's team A+ draft. We might get a C. We might get a C+ on this one. I'm okay with it because we know in 2-3 years this is gonna be an absolute juggernaut roster.
Love it.
It is a movie. I don't know if any of you have seen it. It's called The Family Man.
Oh, dude, with fucking Nick Cage, of course. That is a great pick.
I fucking love this movie.
It is so good. It's so
Nick
I've never seen it.
It's
so
Nicolas
good.
Cage. He plays a Wall Street banker.
Yes.
Who the movie starts with him leaving his girlfriend at.
It actually is based on a Christmas Carol, kind of the premise.
Like he's like
Yeah.
kind of
It's loosely
Scrooge-like,
based off of
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you could argue this isn't even really a Christmas movie, but I there's a lot heavily to do with it. Well, like
Christmas.
half of the movie is, but sure.
It's
So,
Christmas.
anyways, Bobby, he's or Corey and Todd, you've both seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So Bobby, he is like a Wall Street banker type. He at the beginning of the
Thank
movie
you,
starts
Heather.
with him leaving his girlfriend at the airport where she does the like just stay, like he's going for this like amazing job.
Yeah.
And then he gets like it's Don Cheadle is like an angel or some weird
Love Don
thing.
Cheadle.
Cash.
And he
Right?
like
Isn't his name Cash?
Cash, yeah. And basically the movie starts with him like at that flipping his life as if he did not go get on the plane.
Yep.
And he only has the memories of his life before,
Yep.
and he has to kind of like figure it out. And it's like a vision, but it takes place over Christmas, and he now has like 2 kids, and he's just it's awesome. And I watch it every Christmas because there's just something about it where I'm just like, this is a really good movie, and it's like a solid Nick Cage performance. I love it.
Yeah.
Family Man.
Also, Téa Leoni, 90s, super hot.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Deep Impact.
Good call.
She's looking good.
Yeah.
Bobby, I highly recommend it this week.
It's-
If you
Is it on
watch
Netflix?
I think it might be on Prime or
I got both. So
What up, Mr. Reed? Merry Christmas, man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for dropping
It was
by.
on HBO last year. Let's see.
I'll have to check it out.
It's fantastic, Bobby. You rent it if you have to. Just find a way to rent it.
It's worth.
It's good. Get Caroline, bring her in, pop some popcorn, bake some cookies, watch it. It's a good one. It's a good one to watch.
I'll have to sell her. She's not a big movie person, so I'll have to sell her.
I love it.
So
Corey's reaction is my favorite to that. What?
No, it's straight up.
All right. Huh? I still like her, but
Sports?
I'm
Sports?
just kidding.
Yes. Movies? Question mark.
All right, I'm in a tough spot here because I got a lot.
Dude, there's so many on the board right now.
There's a lot still on the board, and I don't know where to go.
I thought you were going to take that one, Corey.
I was this close to taking it.
Oh man, let's see.
There's another major one that's probably better than another one that's already been picked.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This one is shout out to my mom. She loves Christmas. She's the
Shelley.
She's the biggest Christmas fan in our family by far. This is her
the desserts that she bakes for Christmas. My God,
Choice.
Oh, just wait.
My God,
just wait. I got something coming up for you, sir. Okay, yeah, this one's for her. It's her favorite Christmas movie. It's A Wonderful Life.
Oh,
beautiful.
classic.
Love it.
Classic.
Love
On my
it.
board, but I get it.
Classic.
Love
Not
it.
on my board either, but an absolute. I mean, another.
Shelley.
Yeah, good one.
We love you. We love you.
Honorable mentions.
Yes.
I mean,
Well,
we have.
Bob, you want to talk about
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's a Wonderful
sorry.
Life to you there. I that's, so what, did you watch that a lot with like your mom, or was it just
we watched it a lot growing up, and she like I'm personally like I'm not such a huge fan of the movie just because like I think it's a really sad Christmas movie until
it
the
is
end.
very sad.
It's really
incredibly
depressing,
sad.
but obviously
Yeah.
at the end everything works out, and it's cool. But it's just she loves it. I know she loves Christmas. It's her favorite time of the year. Her birthday was on the 7th, so December is kind of her month, and just reminds me of her. So that's why I picked it.
The number one movie that didn't get mentioned, in my opinion, that I had in the top 3, but I didn't take it because I wasn't sure how it would play with the group. Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2, in my opinion, is better than Home Alone. I love it.
disagree. It's great, but I just
The box office doesn't, Aaron. All right, the box office doesn't.
Well, yeah, because it was Macaulay Culkin, dude.
They crushed.
Well, right.
I mean,
but people were going to go out to see
here's
the
the
second
scene.
one.
Here's the scene. How do you do? This is McAllister.
Look at Bruce
Father.
throwing the entire draft in there in the
Father.
comment, Bruce. Big
Let's
shout
go,
out.
Bruce.
Thanks,
Ab-
man.
Look at that.
Absolutely fantastic, Bruce. Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah, so let's recap here. Round 1, Christmas Vacation, Santa Claus, Home Alone, Elf. Solid round 1.
Yeah.
I don't
Those
know
are all
if you-
powerhouses.
I don't know
Powerhouse
if you,
movies.
I don't know if you can go, say that anything else deserves to be in that top 4 there.
I agree.
With how strong that showing is. Round 2, The Grinch, Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry, Aaron.
It's okay. I still got
Charlie
Charlie
Brown
Brown
Christmas and Jingle All the Way. And then round 3, Die Hard, Suspect.
The most
Pick Off.
controversial pick of all time.
The Night Before, Christmas Carol, Bad Santa, and then to round it off, Love Actually, Christmas Chronicles, Family. I think round 4 was strong.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's like I said,
That might be the
still
second
some on the
strongest
board, yeah.
round.
So in the chat, people are mentioning Scrooge, a Bill Murray classic. It is a great movie, but as we said, we already have like a Christmas Carol in there.
Yeah.
So it's
same.
kind of just like it's the same story, just rebaked.
Same reason I didn't take Home Alone 2.
Right,
We already had
right.
Home Alone.
Krampus.
Yes.
So honestly, I will argue the Santa Claus 2 is actually good.
I like it as well. I like
Santa
it
Claus
as well.
3, absolutely terrible. One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Another
But
one.
Two
So
is really good.
So obviously we had mentioned Christmas Story didn't get taken. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Like that's one, like obviously football doesn't always on Christmas. Football will be on in the house, but normally on Christmas Day, I'm putting TBS on. I'm
Right.
turning the volume midway. I don't want to hear it every word, but I want to fall asleep to A Christmas Story and wake up at a different point in the movie
Yeah,
at a
'cause you
different
get-
time.
I believe it still runs for 24 hours.
24 hours of just fantastic movies.
It's I feel like I'm almost burnt out from it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I love it. And here's the thing. The guy who lives in Cleveland didn't take it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And part of that is not only am I TBS burnt out,
You
but
didn't want to
dude,
live up to the stereotype.
Dude, literally. Okay, so the Browns play the Saints at home on Christmas Eve. I guarantee you at least 3 times cutting away or coming back from commercial.
It'll be the Christmas Story
It's
house.
going to be the Christmas Story house. Everyone here has leg lamps in their windows. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. I love that it has this because you see the movie, you see all these landmarks and stuff like that. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just burnt out from it. At that point.
I get it. So
What are
another
our
one.
feelings on Polar Express.
I like that movie. That's
The movie is terrifying. It is the Uncanny Valley, and I can't do it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google Uncanny Valley. It is fucking terrifying to me. And now, the funny thing is, from a nostalgia standpoint, we asked, like, what do you always have on, opening gifts and stuff like that? I had the Polar Express book with the cassette with the bell. And we used to do that every night before bed, going, before Christmas. And I love the Polar Express, the story. The movie is just that fucking Hot Chocolate song, dude. Those kids are terrifying. It's fucking
hot, crystal meth, hot,
yeah.
crack.
Fucking PS3 Tom Hanks. I hate it.
It's the death. It's the eye death, right? That's the thing that's so terrifying about it. Is that you're not looking into it. There's no soul. I mean, obviously it's all AI, but there's no soul to that movie.
You either make that
Tom Hanks, and I'm just scared.
When that came out,
go ahead.
I would say when that came out though, that was like groundbreaking animation.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was like it was pretty phenomenal.
It's terrible. So you either make that a cartoon or live action. You don't do whatever the hell that was. Just terrifying.
Yeah, the in between was scary.
Uncanny Valley. I hate it.
Todd, who do you have on the honorable mention?
So I got a couple people left on my board here. Muppets Christmas Carol. Not sure if you guys.
That's good. No, I'm good with that.
I'm on board
watch the
with
Muppets Christmas Carol. I actually had the original 1967 version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas on my board. Didn't want to get to the Eminem conversation that we got during Halloween. I'm trying to forget that whole draft as just in general. Get it out of here. But I also had Christmas Story on my board as well. But guys, I think we kind of fucking crushed it.
Yeah,
I got one more.
No, go ahead. I do too. Go ahead though.
I'm going to say a name about this movie. I want to see if you can get it. Jamie Palomino.
I don't know it.
Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds. It's absolutely fucking hilarious.
That's good. Yeah.
Fucking Dusty with his guitar just going like.
Yeah,
fucking hilarious, dude.
That one's
Jamie smiles. Have
you guys seen?
Okay, I get it. That's a good. I forget about that movie.
Four Christmases.
He's just
With,
like
Dude, that was my honor. That was my last honorable mention.
was it? Okay, I didn't mean to say.
No, you're fine. I love that movie.
I think it's funny. It's cheeky. It's again, it's one of those movies that's like when it's Christmas time, I'm like, yeah, throw on Four Christmases. It's Vince
It
Vaughn
doesn't deserve to be drafted, but it is.
It doesn't deserve to be drafted, but it deserves to be mentioned. And then the only other honorable mentions I'm going to throw out are the old TV classics: Year Without a Santa Claus, Frosty the Snowman. I took Charlie Brown Christmas, but again, I can't take any more of those ones after.
Yeah,
I've taken
Rudolph.
Like the Heat Miser, Freeze Miser, dude. Come on, I'm all about that shit. He's Mr. Heat Miser. He's Mr. Sun.
All right, well, we'll have Twitter posts up, so you guys need to go vote on who won this draft. Those
Beautiful.
will be up tomorrow. Let's get into the football, shall we?
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Go. I was just here for the movies, guys.
For week
I was kidding.
16 picks.
All right, so to cap off week 15.
Living in the past, Bob.
I know we're living in the past.
Real quick before we get into it, what's everyone drinking here Christmas wise?
Oh, good call, Aaron. Right now, I tried to find a lot of the Great Lakes Christmas ale. Being in the boonies of Detroit, couldn't find it. So I know it's hard to see here. I've got New Belgium Holiday Ale. A little bit, it's spicier than just like a regular, like a Christmas ale that you would typically find because it appeals to all, being called a holiday ale, obviously. Good though. Good
is
though.
Office Christmas Party a movie, Bruce? I don't know.
It's good. It's fine. Yeah. I watched it for the first time last year. It's like Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
T.J. Miller.
I'd probably like that.
What's the girl from SNL? Kate.
Kristen Wiig.
Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon.
She's fantastic.
It's funny. It's honestly similar to like The Night Before. It's like new age, raunchy, funny. Christmas movie.
Sounds like I got some movies to watch. I am drinking Samuel Adams Winter Lager. I do also have their holiday white ale in the refrigerator, which is the new one that I haven't had. I tried it earlier. It's got a little bit of spice to it. It kind of reminds me of the Cold Snap, just Cold Snap with a little bite, which I was definitely a fan
A little
of.
extra snap.
Little extra crispy to snap.
It's got the wrist pop as well as the snap.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Todd, what do you got?
Well, guys, this is a regular Christmas classic. It's a Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh yeah, White Trash Christmas.
Yeah,
White dress.
yeah.
Fucking cousin Eddie over here, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well,
Cheerful.
Yeah,
PBR.
That's the shitters full beer.
Yeah. So it's
Well-
obviously a Christmas classic because every year on Christmas I drink at least 12 of them. That's why it's a
All
classic.
right. All right.
All right. So last week,
I have
it was a good week. If I would have just followed my heart and went with the Lions, I would have had
Fuck
the sole
myself.
lead last week with the records. But Todd and I went 12-4. Corey and Aaron went 11-5. Todd and I are exactly 3 games behind Corey and Aaron. So Todd and I are tied. Corey and Aaron are tied. 3 games separate us with 3 weeks to go. Boys, it's tight.
Twite like a tiger.
It is.
All right.
Some
Well,
Powers reference.
You
Well,
guys
well,
are gonna have to give me one moment because I didn't get to tell you my beer, which is of course
Oh,
Great
I'm
Lakes
so
Christmas
sorry.
Ale. It's okay, Bobby. It's totally fine. But before we make our picks, I have to grab the other glass out of the freezer because my wife made me another cinnamon sugar one, but I have to get it before it cracks in the freezer. So
Good call.
you guys be
All right.
there. I'll be right back.
We'll hold it down.
Yeah,
we'll hang tight. So last week we had some crazy games, guys.
You think?
Obviously, what was your biggest surprise from last week outside of the Jags over the Cowboys?
Okay, how about Matt Ryan just continually to just fuck himself? I mean, this is just unbelievable at this point that this dude is a part of the largest comeback in Super Bowl history and the largest comeback in NFL history. Just absolutely fucking.
Does he just need
nuts.
to retire?
I think there just needs to be somebody just making sure he's okay at random points throughout the evening, just checking in on him and just be like, "Hey, Matt, we're
Wellness
here
check?
for you." Yeah, wellness checks on Matt Ryan constantly because, dude, that's got to be hard, man. Right?
Devastating.
Oh yeah.
Devastating.
I mean, so you got to think about it. The dude literally spent, I don't know, over or damn near a decade plus now, trying to escape, run. It's similar to Tom Cruise running from his gay thoughts. Matt Ryan is sprinting away from the Super Bowl comeback, and then boom, what happens? 33-point comeback.
Look at this fucking glass Aaron's got. For you listening on Spotify, we have a Great Lakes pint. No, I'm sorry, this is a 24-ounce glass covered.
It's just 12.
It's frosted and covered in cinnamon sugar.
Look what my
Just-
wife does for me.
She's just an enabler at this point, Aaron.
Yeah,
She's trying to collect that insurance money.
Hey, babe, why do we take this fucking life insurance? But you
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know, sweetheart, that I love so much.
Drink
Well,
up.
so-
Drink up.
Yeah,
Dinner's
my
ready.
motorcycle. I don't. Yeah, no, you don't need a helmet.
Obviously, outside of the fucking Vikings making the greatest comeback in a regular season game in the history
Nuts.
of the NFL, it's very clearly the debacle that happened between the Patriots and the Raiders. I just want to say one thing,
Bro,
Trucks
what are
that
they doing?
Chandler Jones put on Mac Jones to get into the end zone. I don't know if you guys paid attention to that. When he grabs the ball and he turns around, Mac Jones is standing in front of him, right? And he literally grabs him from the top of the helmet and throws him down as hard as he can, and then takes off in what seemed like it took him 4 steps to get in the end zone. It was ridiculous.
Amazing.
So obviously, I'm sure, Corey, you're probably in the same boat. You were still watching the Bengals game, regardless of what the score was. And I had 3 people at the same time text me, "Holy fuck, what is happening with the Patriots?"
Well, the best part about that was that it came up while I was watching the Bengals game. It came up in the corner there, and I was just like, holy shirts and pants. Jordan, thanks for liking the stream. Just in time to not hear us talk about what happened to the Colts. Appreciate you coming by, though, buddy. But that was just absolutely fuck, like, and I don't
Ugh.
blame Ramondre Stevenson at all.
Nope.
He didn't decide I'm going to lateral this. No, I'm going to throw this 30 yards back to let's throw it to the most athletic player on the field.
That wasn't
Mac
because
Jones.
Ramondre had it first, and then he lateraled, and then it was somebody else that threw it.
Yes.
Right?
Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers. Yeah.
Ah, brilliant.
He decided to throw it to Mac Jones, and it was intercepted by Chandler Jones.
To which Mac Jones got just absolutely just steamrolled.
And can we just take a moment? You know, like the Patriots have been going through a lot. Can we just take a moment? I mean, this is a fan base that has been just through hell, and let's just give it up for the Patriots. Go fuck yourselves, Boston. Eat a bag of dicks, several dicks in a sack.
The Raiders should
But
get that guy's.
I do respect that Jacoby Myers just basically said, "Yeah, I made a critical error. It is what it like." Took full responsibility for it, but Jesus Christ, what?
So here's a question:
fuck?
What's worse, Jacoby Myers interception or the butt fumble?
Oh, butt fumble.
Butt fumble.
Okay.
Because this,
I mean,
and
the
I was
butt
even
fumble
going
was
to
in the
say,
playoffs.
you know what was worse too is I would say is when the Patriots had Rob Gronkowski as the last line of defense and the Dolphins had the lateral touchdown.
Oh yeah,
That was for the
that had
playoffs,
someone like
yeah.
this game didn't really have anything on the line.
Ah.
I mean, for the Patriots, sure, but even if they get in, they're a first round exit.
Yeah. 10-4.
But yeah,
Cool.
butt
All right.
fumble for sure.
Good week though. Fun week.
Yeah,
15.
fun week of football for sure. All right. Moving on, Thursday night. Let's see. We're 46 minutes deep, and we're just getting to our picks, boys. So let's keep it
strap in.
Let's keep it concise, unless we're going for 3 hours, which I'm not with either. So.
Not gonna happen.
All right, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off of a monumental win against the Cowboys last week, headed on the road taking on the Jets. This game is going to be extremely cold. I think I saw a tweet where like there was like 6 games on the list and they were all 10 degrees or less.
It's going to be a theme.
So, yeah, it's going to be cold. Todd, I will let you lead this one off, sir. Jags, Jets, who you got?
So before we get into this game, I just want to say that Mike McCarthy is a terrible coach.
All right.
Now let's talk about this week.
All right, moving on.
Sorry. So we're talking about obviously the Jaguars coming off a big win against the Cowboys. The Jets coming off of a loss last week against the Detroit Lions, a super close game that really came down to the last 5 minutes. But you know, I here's the thing is that we've already heard Mike White's not playing tomorrow night, right? So Mike White. The running game has been kind of stale for New York. But the thing about Jacksonville is that offense is kind of firing on all cylinders right now. Trevor Lawrence has played consistently on the uphill, right? Minus the turnover late in that game against the Cowboys last week. But he continues to show signs of progression. Zay Jones has had a back-to-back really big week, so he's been a good connector for him. And I don't care if it's 100 degrees or 10 degrees. The Jaguars are beating the Jets this week, fellas. I have no faith in Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I don't have any faith in Zach Wilson either. But it's a cold weather game, and it's the Jaguars coming north to play it. I'm gonna in a cold weather game. I'm gonna favor the defense, and I think the Jets have the better defense in this game. It's also a Thursday night game, which is always, typically favors the under as is. The other thing I will mention just going into this entire week, don't parlay anything. Just put $20 on every single under and you're going to come out on top. This week is going to be frigid for everybody. I think there's only a couple domed games even at that. It is a lot of outdoor cold football that is going to be played. And the interesting thing too is everyone's playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
-3 games just because Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a unique week for the NFL as is. I do not want to put my faith in Wilson by any means. Jaguars are hot right now, but the absolute frigid cold cools this down, and I'm going to take the Jets.
Corey?
Yeah, I'm kind of along the same line of thinking here, just with it being such a cold game that does tend to favor the more defensive, strong team, and that has to be the Jets here. Obviously, they're inept on offense. The Jaguars are coming on offense, but this doesn't appeal to me as a game where offense is really going to be the keynote that we're looking at when we're watching it. I think the Jets win this one.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one for me. Last week I bet on the Jets. The only reason was that Zach Wilson was not supposed to play. They ended up playing and they lose. I don't think the Jags defense is anything to necessarily sleep on. I do agree that the Jets have the better defense, but these are grown men, and I think the Jags can handle the cold. These guys are professional athletes, and I'm sure they've done whatever they can this week to try to prepare for it. It's definitely different. When you're playing all year in the Jacksonville Heat. But I'm sticking with Todd here. I'm going with the Jags. I just think the offense is hotter. And when it's cold, you need to put points on the board, and I think the Jets are going to struggle doing that.
It's fair.
All right. Moving on to a game that's got some questions at quarterback, at least for one of these teams. We've got the Falcons headed on the road to Baltimore. Another game that is going to be frigidly cold. We had Ritter, who started with the Falcons last week.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had Tyler Huntley, young quarterback as well for the Ravens with Lamar Jackson out, not scheduled to play this week. Corey, I'll let you lead this one off. Who you got?
Yeah, so for this one on the injury side, obviously Lamar not present again. I think that's 8 straight practices that he hasn't been there since that PCL injury that he's got going on right now. So definitely something to watch out for. It's just interesting that Lamar, the last 2 seasons without a contract, has decided that the end of the year he's going to be hurt. It's just interesting. I'm not saying anything other than it's interesting, guys. All right, I'm getting a little weird looks, but I'm just saying it's interesting. Okay. Tyler Huntley didn't look great at all. All right. I was thinking that he was going to actually do a lot better than he has over the last couple of weeks. Todd and I think made the comments a couple of weeks ago that the offense, seemingly flowed a little bit better, at least last year when he was there. It hasn't. Yeah, exactly, Todd. It hasn't happened at all. That being said, we're looking at 7.5 point dogs right now are the Falcons. Now, Desmond Ritter last week didn't look great. Didn't look bad, but didn't look great. I don't think he had a single turnover, if I'm not mistaken, but he didn't throw for any touchdowns either. It was about 50% completion percentage, no turnovers there. Sorry. So, not something that, we're extremely excited about so far with Desmond Ritter. 7.5, if I'm taking a money line bet, it's just too much for me to bet against. But if I am a betting man, which I am going to be taking the Falcons plus 7.5, but I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens to win this one.
Aaron.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing here. So I'm feeling a lot of what Corey just said. The game last week, it was a weird game. Keep in mind, Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks that game. That never happens. It was a swirling wind game by the lake. It was cold. It was frigid. Nobody was having a good time. The offense very much reflected that.
We all 4 did. Don't say that. We all 4 had a good time watching that game.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, I had. You know what? I was legitimately bored. Because here's the thing: we were in our group chat. You guys know I literally just went out and bought a new Xbox, and I was like, I fucking relegated it to the small TV and just got some gaming in. It was like halftime, and I'm like, I'm fucking bored, dude. So that's what happened there. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens here. Again, Ritter did not look good. I'm gonna just in general this week, I am going to favor the team that sits more north. I think the Ravens have a not much better running game. But they're, Dobbins is coming back. I've seen him, his first week, the week prior to this one. He was getting in there a little bit. Last week he looked really good. Of course, the Browns' running defense is not great, and I'm gonna take the Ravens here. I just think they're the better team.
Bruce said, "Wait, where the fuck is Corey's beard?" It's coming back. It's coming back. He decided to make some facial adjustments, and we all decided that was not a good idea. So he's growing it back out. Todd, who you got?
Yeah, look, I think that what we saw of Desmond Ridder last week is probably what we see for the remainder of the season. But I think it's right for Atlanta to put him out on the field and let him kind of test the waters and see what happens. Right, you got to get this guy some snaps under his belt because I really legitimately think going into the next season you're going to see a quarterback competition between Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota to get to that starting spot.
Well, he's getting surgery, isn't he? Isn't Mariota getting
knee surgery? Yeah. So I'm saying, look, moving forward into the next season, you have 3 more weeks of Ridder getting to prove what he can do at this current level, right? And obviously he struggled. It's a rookie making his first start in the NFL, trying to make decisions with an offensive line that's in shambles. It's a mess. So While obviously J.K. Dobbins has played very well over the last 2 weeks, Tyler Algier has really kind of hit the spotlight in Atlanta as RB1 for them and has had back-to-back weeks of over 85 yards of total offense. And I think there's something to be said for a Ravens defense that's led, or a Ravens offense, that's led by Tyler Huntley going against, a bad Falcons defense. But again, if we're making weather a factor, this is another
Greg, thanks for liking the stream.
10-3 game. I'm still picking Baltimore here, but I would not be in the least bit surprised if Atlanta somehow sneaks this game out. Not in the slightest, because I think Baltimore is a team that outside of 4 weeks of football is bad.
Their offense has been fucking terrible for like a month and a half. Like it's been bad.
It's week 6. That
really
was the last
bad
time that they put up over 20 points, I believe. Is week
no,
6
they put up some on Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was 29-28.
It was something. I think it was Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yeah. So one time in the last, let's call it 2 months, that they put over 20 points on the board, just doesn't bode well. They're gonna eventually that's gonna catch up to them. Luck runs out eventually.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the Ravens here. I think if the Ravens really want to get their game going, they need to feed J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is the most underutilized human being on that team. Hold on, I think I had to sneeze. No, I don't. Okay, God.
Ooh, that's the worst. That's the worst.
I hate that feeling.
Look into the light.
But no. There was a stat that I read where if J.K. Dobbins runs the ball like 20 times or more in a game, the Ravens have like the percentage was insane about like their percent to win when he actually gets his touches. And in the last few games, he's had 15 touches or less, and it's like just
with plus 100 yards in both games.
I know, and that's the problem is that this guy can run the ball. It's AFC North football, like the Browns display it the best with Chubb and Hunt. The Ravens can dominate the ground game if they choose to. And then, but yeah, obviously the Steelers and the Bengals have it too. But
Bobby, how much of that had to do with the threat of Lamar, though? I know Huntley can still skirt too, but.
I think you bring up a good point there. I think Lamar's ability to scramble really opens up the run game and the pass game. And, it would be really nice to see what Lamar could do if he actually had good receivers around him. When was the last time you could say he had a top 10 receiver on his team?
Never.
The only one that comes to mind, of course, is Mark Andrews, and I know he's not a receiver, but you can also make the same argument with this year with Mahomes and just the way they use Kelsey is just so much different. The Ravens use Mark Andrews as a wide receiver one.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But I think
he's like a Mike Evans, basically.
He needs some more weapons down there to be successful, at least from the passing game perspective.
Well, they traded their best one away last year.
Yeah.
Sure did.
So,
which
I
got a first rounder for it. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Still, he was.
I kept dropping the ball.
Sure.
I don't disagree with you. Hey, man, they picked up Sammy Watkins, dude.
Game changer.
Right. Well, you lose Devin Duvernay too, which is kind of your.
He was looking good.
Get to the corner, run your jet sweep kind of guy. Now you've lost that too. So this offense is they're in trouble. They're
struggling.
In trouble.
They're struggling,
especially getting into playoff time.
Especially since Lamar is going to be in Detroit next year, so it'll be interesting.
Oh God, I've heard that so much. I'm so sick of hearing that now.
Same.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, that'd be crazy. I would.
He's not gonna get like a Deshaun contract. He's not gonna get like a Mahomes contract. He's not. It's not gonna
He won't be in
happen.
Baltimore next year. I can tell you that. Where he's going, I can't tell you.
See, I still think that's the heavy favorite though, because they have.
I agree.
They have the franchise tag.
So they could franchise tag him and make him sit. Yeah, I mean, but you're gonna spend. He could say, "I'm not gonna play."
Sure, but is he going to do that for 2 years?
They've already franchise tagged him once, haven't they?
No, because he's still on his rookie contract.
Oh, is he? Okay. I'm mistaken then. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. He may sit for 2 years, but are you going to pay him $27 million 2 years in a row to do nothing?
I completely understand the irony in what I'm about to say, knowing that I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. But are you going to pay him after he sits out for 2 years?
Yeah. I think somebody would. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think this league is just that desperate for any. I mean, look at like we've talked about this before. Look at a contract that a guy like Kyler Murray gets, or the corpse of Russell Wilson gets. Like these guys get these contracts because it is such a needy quarterback league. Like you have to have a quarterback, and as I've said before, if you've got anything relatively close to a top tier quarterback, you're gonna just throw the fucking kitchen sink at him.
I think Lamar's a little different though.
Sure. I get why you say
not
that.
their traditional. Yeah.
He's more he has achieved more than Kyler Murray.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But doesn't have that contract. That's what I'm saying. He can get that somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody will pay him.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Moving on. We've got the Lions headed south to the East Coast, take on the Carolina Panthers. I think this is going to be a pretty good game, but I still think there's a clear-cut winner here. But Aaron, I'll let you lead this one off.
Why don't you lead it off, Bobby? I mean, come on.
I got the Lions. The Lions
right.
are coming off a great win last week. I think the Lions have something to fight for. They're still fighting for a playoff spot, and they're the better team when it comes to the Panthers and the Lions. Panthers took a bad loss to the Steelers last week. They did not look good in any way, shape, or form. Steelers defense crushed them. I think the Lions defense does the same. But the Lions offense is way more explosive, and the Panthers defense is just not good. So, I've got the Lions here. Aaron.
Yeah, that's completely fair. So I was just doing the math just to back up my point from earlier. We have 10 games this week that have an over-under that sit below 42.
Wow.
This is not one of them. It is 43.5, and Carolina is going to be a little bit balmier compared to the rest of the country.
You think so?
So yeah, right. The Lions are used to playing in a dome though, so it's not anything. They
didn't last week.
Well, right. I'm just saying the weather forecast for this week is So I took a flyer on the Panthers last week. It kind of bit me. I took the flyer the 2 weeks before, and it paid off. Or at least on the Panthers, I'm sorry. The Lions are just playing this different brand of football I haven't remember seeing them play in a long time. There are shades of Jared Goff. Keep in mind, this is now I know it's because of his contract, but the Lions absorbed a first-round pick to take his contract off their hands, and he's not that bad. They have found a way. Him and Amon-Ra is, I love that connection. Amon-Ra St. Brown is basically like the greatest number 2 you could have. And he's playing like a number. I just mean the style of play that he is. He's a slot guy that can move to the outside. He's fantastic. He reminds me a lot of, I need to see more of it before I can say he's a bona fide number 1, but he's basically like Tyler Lockett to me, where it's like nobody's going to give this guy respect because of his size, but this guy constantly is producing week after week after week after week. I'm going to take the line. Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions here because they're just on fucking fire, and I'm not ready to fade them.
Okay, fair enough. Todd.
Yeah. En fuego in Espanol for those listening in Spanish is where the Lions are right now. En fuego. Continuing to put points on the board. Obviously, going into New Jersey last week to beat the Jets, that was a big win for them that I think a lot of people just didn't think was going to happen based on Jared Goff's history of playing in the colder climate. Again, Charlotte's not going to be, balmy by any means, but it's going to be a little bit of a better situation for him. But this Panthers defense isn't going to stop that Lions offense, right? So I agree. I'm taking the over on this game on total points, but I expect to see the Lions to score they're going to be in the 30s, right? That's where I see Detroit this week, and I don't see Carolina getting out of the teens. And I think we're looking at a Lions team that's making a real legitimate playoff push, fellas. It's kind of it feels weird to put that full sentence together, but I'm looking at their schedule. I'm looking at obviously this. I'll call them the same thing, the second hottest team in football right now. And they just keep producing and they just keep winning and they keep doing things right for the most part. And I think we're going to watch them. If they can take 2 of their last 3 out of the remaining schedule, there's a damn good chance they make it in the playoffs here. Yeah, there's a lot of circumstances for them in the next 2 weeks. Obviously 4 or 5 teams have to win, lose. There's kind of counters to that. But even when they play in Lambeau that last week in week 18, there's a chance if everything falls into their circumstances, they make it in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you've got you've got Washington playing San Fran and Seattle playing the Chiefs this weekend. So that I think we'll get to those games in a little bit, obviously. But those are the 2 teams ahead of the Lions right now in the schedule in the standings in the NFC. And looking at the NFC, wouldn't we just rather see instead of the Buccaneers, wouldn't we just rather see the Lions in the playoffs at this point?
Absolutely.
The only flaw with the NFL playoffs.
The only problem is someone in that division has to win.
Yeah.
And they're all bad, and somebody's going to make it.
So, I'm looking at the weather right now. I have a cousin that actually lives in Charlotte. Shout out to Christopher. He sent me a screenshot of his weather report. It is a high of 38 degrees in Charlotte on Sunday. And he got this alert here. The governor of North Carolina has declared a state of emergency in advance of expected extreme cold temperatures.
Is that a joke?
I swear to God, it's a state of emergency at 38 degrees in Charlotte, North Carolina, or in North Carolina as a state.
Buffalo Bills fans take their shirt off.
I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see those Packer fans last night with their shirts off as well? I just can't believe that. Yeah, you couldn't pay me enough to watch that game without a shirt on.
I bet I can give you enough beers. Do you think you can do it?
Beers and cheese. Beers, cheese, and brat.
Yeah, that beer sweatshirt makes you real cozy.
Hey, that brat going down it's really warming me up. I got to take the shirt off.
This thing lodged right here. It's keeping me warm.
I'd have to be careful as I was walking by people to make sure I didn't cut them with my nipples.
Like I just swallowed a hand warmer. That was Boston. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's all right.
That's not Midwest, but all right. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on here. We've got the Seattle Seahawks. One of my favorite coaches of all time, Pete Carroll.
You still owe me, by the way.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
we'll save it for next week.
Yeah, Pete Carroll soliloquy coming in from Bobby.
Coming in next Wednesday. On your timeline, so be prepared. And then they are in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs. Corey, lead us off.
Yeah, the Chiefs are a team that has been struggling over the last couple of weeks. Gave up a big lead to Denver to make that game interesting, which is weird. And if Russell Wilson hadn't gotten knocked fucking unconscious, there's a chance that maybe they win that football game. Who knows? Probably not. Let's be honest here. But and then last week, Sweatin went out against the Texans, who have actually put up a good fight against 2 playoff teams, 2 double-digit win teams in the Chiefs and the Cowboys are the Texans. So I think that comparatively to the Broncos and to the Texans, the Seattle Seahawks are the best team out of those 3. It's going to be interesting. This is in Arrowhead, if I'm not mistaken. This is in Arrowhead. There's 0% chance I am taking anyone other than the Kansas City Chiefs in this matchup. I am going with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to win this game. What is the spread? Let me take a look at this right
10,
here.
I think
10.
There's 0% chance that they cover. I'll put that out there. There's no chance that the Chiefs cover a 10-point spread against the Seahawks.
I'll take that bet.
Okay. All right. So what's on the line?
I don't
What's
know.
on the line?
We got a little more time.
We'll let it
look and
marinate.
see. Let's let it marinate. But I will take that bet.
Chad,
Right,
if
you
you
got-
have
you
any
got-
suggestions,
And
throw them out
I'll
there.
jump in now and explain why.
You have to name your
Because
terms
Yeah,
before I
before
agree.
we
I
agree,
just-
of course.
okay.
I'm just letting you know that this gate is open
Okay.
because I have not gotten in on these weekly bets, and I'm ready for this one.
I'm excited.
He's
So
not
I
even,
agree.
He's not even dipping his toes in. He's just doing a cannonball, just jumping right in.
So I agree with you that it's worth noting that the Chiefs have struggled. Like obviously the Bengals game, the Texans game is it's worth noting, but you weren't going to touch the Seahawks winning that game. The Seahawks last 4 losses are the
hot girls
Buccaneers,
again.
who we all think are absolutely reeling.
Mm.
The Raiders, who nobody really thinks is good. They barely beat the Rams. They lost to the Panthers and they lost to the 49ers last week, and the 49ers are certainly a better team. The Seahawks started off really, really hot.
Yeah.
Their last 4 losses are not anything in like they're not even losing good. They're losing to teams that I think a lot of us took them to beat in some of those games, like the Raiders and what was the other one I just said? The Buccaneers. Even I think someone took a flyer on.
Yeah.
But anyways, the Seahawks are not playing well. The one thing I will hammer on this one is the under, because we're looking at 15-degree weather, and it's a
Super
10
windy.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a Chiefs get right game. I don't think it's going to be, necessarily for 50 total points. But I'm still very confident in that 10-point spread. I'm taking the Chiefs here easy.
So let me just point this out. It's going to be a super windy game.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Walker is back and he's at full strength. I'm just putting that out there. Just putting that. I'm not saying that Seattle is going to win. I'm going to be very clear. I'm taking the Chiefs to win. I'm going to be very clear. The Chiefs are going to win this game. I just think Seattle's going to hang around.
Here's the thing. I'm taking it
a garbage time touchdown to pull it within
sure.
5.
Sure. It is a even number spread. There's no half on this. I can push. I'm going to take Kansas City -10 here. Terms to be discussed.
All right, deal.
Todd.
We'll see.
I'm taking the Chiefs. It's been too much already. My heart can't handle much more. I'm taking the Chiefs.
You want to just do $20 charity bet?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Love it.
Book it.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Well, I could have elaborated if that was going to be the terms. But yeah,
sign me up for the Chiefs, but I'm rooting for the Seahawks.
Why? Because you don't like my charities?
I was gonna say, if you're an AFC fan, especially you Bengals fans, you guys.
Yeah.
Want the Chiefs to lose.
I want to be wrong here. Yeah, I want the Chiefs to lose. Absolutely. I mean, well, yeah, the Bengals have the tiebreaker, but they still need the Chiefs to slip up once, and then if they beat the Bills on Monday Night Football, they will have the number 1 seed.
This is a game, I almost went the other way just because of the conditions, but I don't think this is the one I want to take a chance on.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to amend my bet. $20 charity bet plus we have to. No. Hear me out. I think you're going to like this. You have to read line for line the Happy Gilmore phrase of Happy Gilmore to Chubbs.
Yeah.
But address it to the other person.
How about this? I will revise that. You have to read line for line. The winner gets to read line for line the Billy Madison line at the decathlon, at the end of the decathlon, in regards to his answer about the little puppy, the lost puppy. We get to read that line.
You have to read the whole thing
to the not the answer, the response of the
you are
moderator.
So dumb.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what the winner gets to read to the other person. All right.
Business ethics.
May God have mercy on your souls. All right.
Merry Christmas.
Next game on the board, we've got the New Orleans Saints headed north to Cleveland to visit.
You can leave, mystery.
Headed north to Cleveland to visit Aaron and the Cleveland Browns. Aaron, without further ado, take it away.
Boy, I hope the Saints like A Christmas Story, because you're going to get a lot of it. Again, here's another one, 32.5. They're calling for negative 11 to 20 degree wind chills with 40 to 60 mile an hour winds. So not only is this going to be an absolute dogfight, I'm saying that ironically. You're not even going to be able to get close enough where a field goal even makes sense. Again, I'm telling you, Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks in our stadium last week. Compared to this week's weather-wise, that's just another day in the park, baby. It's gonna be wild. Nick Chubb is a little bit questionable coming into this game, but you also have Kareem Hunt back there. You have Dearness Johnson. You have Jerome Ford. I'm not too worried about it. The other thing, Pochik coming back from IR on the center position has been a little bit of an issue since he went down. Nick Chubb has not been the same. The offensive line, that's your third string guy at this point. Pochik is, the second string to Nick Harris, who went down in the preseason, and he was playing phenomenally comparatively to what you would expect your backup center to do. I'm going to take the Brownies here. I'm looking at a team that I think is trying to put something together for next year. They're not statistically out of it, but they are for the most part. But I will say, if the Browns can somehow win this game, it is going to be interesting coming down the home stretch because you have Saints, Commanders, Steelers.
All winnable.
All winnable. There's a chance for back end. You're going to need some help. But this is going to be a ugly, ugly, ugly football game. I'll take the Browns at home.
Sure. Todd.
Yeah, look, I think that you're watching Cleveland kind of shift the momentum in their direction in terms of offensive production. That's the big thing here, is that the wheels are turning, they're getting a little bit stronger, the engine's picking up, and I think I've watched Deshaun Watson over these previous 3 weeks get better, and weather conditions are what they are, but this is the Saints defense that's kind of Swiss cheese right now. Right, like that. I see your face. I don't appreciate it.
All right.
So this is a team that almost allowed a rookie quarterback to come back into the game.
He didn't throw a single touchdown. He didn't throw a single touchdown.
They still put 18 points on the board.
Desmond Ridder did not throw a touchdown last week.
No.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Desmond.
Yeah, but it's
Ridder
also Desmond Ridder. Yeah, like
no, that means nothing. They allowed 2. Here's the thing: you're facing a team with good running backs, right? That can run the ball, and regardless of Nick Chubb is healthy or not, they can run on this Saints defense. They just allowed 2 running touchdowns to a rookie running back last week. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are not rookie running backs. That's a real problem, especially when you're looking at a New Orleans team that doesn't have any money to make any adjustments over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
This is a franchise that's in trouble, especially on defense, because you're tied up in 3 players. Everything else you have to kind of pick and pull because you put so much money into Cam Jordan and your defensive backs. And by the way, you're starting a quarterback that you paid on a 2-year deal to basically back up, and now you don't have any choice, and you can't go out and get your guy because you're not going to get a high enough draft pick to build the offense around, and you're probably not going to have Kamara. So, yeah, I think the Saints are bad. I think the Browns are better right now in the circumstance. So
Sure.
I'm taking the Browns.
So Kamara's out?
Next year he'll be out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about for Sunday.
No,
I'm sorry.
no,
I was
he's
like,
playing
that's
Sunday,
news.
yeah.
What?
Corey.
breaking news.
So while everything in my being tells me to take the Browns in this one, I'm actually going to take the Saints because Andy Dalton is 12-5 against the Browns. Going Andy Dalton and the Saints. Let's go. This is my get right game. This is the one that gets me ahead. Let's go. Putting it on the red rifle, baby. Let's go.
What a mistake! What a mistake, just in general, for you to put the life of this pick'em into.
So here's why Andy Dalton. Here we go.
But he's only ever put. You can't logic it because he's only ever disappointed you.
You want me to logic for you? Here we go. I get a comment in the chat at 9. It is 9:49 Eastern. I get a comment at 9:45 Eastern. God bless the Saints. Andy Dalton went to Texas Christian University, also a well-known Bible thumper. He's 12-5 against the Browns. Everything is aligning right now for the Red Rifle to do it.
Yeah, but at 9:40
and on Christmas Eve, I mean the eve of birth of the Savior of the world.
Aaron.
Come on.
Hot girls here, free. I'm taking Deshaun and the Browns.
God, and that's more credible than Fuck. Oh,
Oh, I love you guys so much.
Oh, okay.
Not as much as I love xxx69.biz, though. I tell you.
At least it's a business account.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
I
Get that
wish it was
LLC,
.gov.
sweetheart.
All right.
For those of you listening on Spotify, we're just getting spammed on YouTube by wholesome accounts.
If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out.
Don't click that.
Yeah, unless you want to
Please
give your
don't click it.
computer AIDS.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm going with Aaron and Todd here. I think the Browns running game is just way too strong. This is going to be a game that has zero to do with passing. Deshaun, as far as running the ball, Andy Dalton cannot do that. Deshaun Watson has him.
Taysom Hill can.
Yeah, get him out of here.
He had a 70-yard touchdown pass last week.
You said touchdown pass.
He did. Yeah, 70
Yeah,
yards.
touchdown pass, not touchdown run.
Okay, there's
Touchdown
only
pass.
all right.
There's gonna be no passing in this game. It's all run.
To
And if I have
Corey's credit there, though, the Browns rushing defense is still really, really bad. I would not be surprised to see the Saints utilize that. However, I will say that would basically be in the same situation that Huntley was last week, and the Browns kind of actually they were expecting it.
I would also just like to comment, this is not going to be a blowout either way. Like, there's a reason.
No.
This is a 2.5 point spread. We're all very
With a
passionate.
32.5.
Yeah,
Over.
we're all very passionate about our picks right now, and I love it. It's making for great radio, but this is going to be a knockdown, drag out game. Two teams that are literally in the fucking corners of their season right now, needing to crawl out and get some help. So it's gonna be a fun game for sure.
MVP of this game will be David Njoku. Calling it right now.
I like it.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So Corey took a
receiver.
flyer on that one. He is standing alone by himself with the Saints. Will it pay off, or will he drop a game? We'll see.
Stay tuned.
We're all fading Corey here. I like it.
For more.
Well, hey, if there's any points to me, last week the only person that went solo was Todd, and Todd took the Lions while we all took the Jets, and it paid off for Todd.
I took
Well,
the Steelers,
yeah, but then
and everybody
Wilson
else took
went out.
the Panthers.
Yeah, Steelers aren't playing football, Todd, Bobby. So
you said Todd was the only one that went solo last week, and that's not true.
you're right. Fair point.
All right. Next
God
game.
damn, Mystery just coming in with a fucking sledgehammer and just crushing my theory.
Theory's wrong. Andy Dalton will disappoint you again. That's all you've ever known.
It is.
Somebody has to bless the Saints. I know it will be a funeral.
Andy Dalton brought me
History
3
repeats
division
itself.
championships. All right.
He did.
Holy
He did.
smokes.
And then 0 playoff wins. We've all lived this story.
You know, the one interesting thing that we haven't talked about is this week, everything is such a crammed under, or like the over-unders are skewing way low. Yo, we're talking about the fantasy football semifinals.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot of offense this week.
Yeah.
Final score 76-62.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe.
Oh, a lot of beers cracking in the background here. Let's join the fucking party. Let's go, huh?
Cheers.
Chat,
That's cool.
chat,
Hey.
chime in. Chat, chime in right now. What are you guys sipping on while you enjoy Rally Towel Sports? We are about 3 things: beer, sports, and charity. You've already heard one $20 charity bet going on tonight. So, what are you sipping on over there as
What's
we
your
go
favorite
through
Christmas drink?
Yeah, I like. You know what I've been going to a lot lately? Vodka
Bourbon.
vodka cranberries. Vodka
Yeah.
cranberry. And what I've been doing is a vodka with some lemonade and cranberry juice.
Mm.
It's been fantastic.
They just call them Cosmos, dude.
Is that a Cosmo?
Isn't that vodka cranberry juice and like a zest of lemon?
I don't know. I like
It's
Cosmo.
actually, it's actually a lime, but yes.
I-
Is it lime? Okay.
Okay, I drink it on a rocks glass with a bullet in it to just make me feel like I have
for
a-
men it's lemon.
Yeah,
It's
there's ammunition in my rocks glass. So
Hey, there's
trying to
nothing wrong
get
with the
drunk and I
Cosmo.
have a UTI.
You just have to hold it for about an 8-second pour.
I did not know that this was Sex in the City. Let's talk about football again.
all right.
Fair enough.
All right.
Sir,
Fuck.
We've got the
Texans,
Texans headed.
Carrie Bradshaw over here.
Sarah Jessica Parker, where's she from, Todd? Where's Sarah Jessica Parker
Yeah.
from?
Cincinnati.
Thank you.
Carrie Bradshaw. I want Terry Bradshaw. All right. Let's get back to
We have the Texans headed to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. This is going to be just one to keep on your calendars, folks. The Texans coming off, can you say good losses? I mean,
Yes, you can for the
that's
Texans.
what they were.
They're tanking perfectly right now.
Yes.
They are.
They're
tanking.
getting good tape on guys while losing.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll lead this one off here. I have zero faith in the Titans and anything that they do for the rest of the season. I think they are just one of the worst football teams in the league. I'm taking the Texans here. They've had two strong performances against much better teams over the last 2 weeks. If they can continue to do what they're doing against a team like the Titans, they're going to absolutely smash them.
Wow. Love to hear it. Who you got next,
Beautiful.
Bob?
Take your pick.
I'll do it. Wow.
Bobby's just like, I'm not. Bobby's like, I'm not hosting anymore. Fuck it.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
So here's the caveat to your point, Bobby, which you're absolutely right. You're talking about they were beating the Cowboys for 49, 50 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. You take the Chiefs into overtime and that high-powered offense, but you don't have Dameon Pierce. That's the caveat here, right? You got Dameon Pierce out for the rest of the season with an injury. So now you're talking about Rex Burkhead and the running back from Wisconsin. I cannot pronounce his last name. I'm not going to butcher it on here and embarrass myself.
Good call.
So then you're putting the offense into Davis Mills' hands. And history would tell you that doesn't work regardless of who they're playing against. Right? Because here's the thing, you're right. They put back-to-back really good games together, but they still didn't win when they had the ball with less than 2 minutes left. That's my point here, right? And the Texans are going to have to figure out a way to shut down Derrick Henry, which is, Zeke and Tony Pollard are not Derrick Henry, and certainly the Chiefs' running game is not Derrick Henry. So that's why I'm picking the Titans, right? Because I don't think that Houston has the ability to slow the game down enough to put it fully in their favor to get to 2-12-1.
Yes, Bobby.
The Titans are one-dimensional, and both teams that they played the last 2 weeks are multi-dimensional. So I think they can cue in on Derrick Henry and
Right.
hold him to a decent amount.
Okay, but here's the thing: the Texans are zero-dimensional. That's
true. That's true, and that's why I'm taking the Titans as well.
You're telling me Daddy Longneck is not even a dimension on the spectrum?
Listen, Bobby, I like the points you're making, and it makes a lot of sense to take the Texans, and they might win. Like, there's a reason this is a 3-point spread at home for the Titans. Like, there's a reason that it's going to be a close game. I get that, but listen, I'm taking the Titans here because while the Texans have come close on these teams, two teams that have not played very well actually over the last couple of weeks, but they're still coming close on them. They haven't won, and I'm going to go with the Titans here. They are the better team, and it doesn't make sense. Even though, no matter how poorly the Titans have been playing, they've lost 4 straight, by the way. The Texans have lost 5 straight, at least, if not more, right? Their last 5 games, the Texans have lost all 5. The Titans have won 1 of those at least. But both these teams are reeling. Probably the ugliest division in football. But I am going to take the defending champs.
Let's
and
just
go
call
the
the
Titans.
South. The South.
NFC South. Yeah, the South is.
Okay. I just pick any team against out of the AFC South versus any team in the NFC South. You're like flipping a coin. you don't know.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. I've taken the Texans on a flyer.
So the North won again. Shocker.
Well, history repeats itself. But here's the thing: is that you look at what's going on in Houston, and this is 125% rebuild. I don't think you're going to see a different head coach. You're going to have a different quarterback. You're going to have a different anchor.
It's kind of fucked up, right? Like Lovey just keeps getting these fucking shit deals, dude. Like it's bullshit.
I think that
hell of a beard, though.
Yeah, great white beard, Silver Fox himself.
Do you take Santa on Christmas? I don't know, dude.
But I
get it, Bobby. I like it better now.
I think you just look at Houston as I can't believe we're talking about the Texans this long, but I think you look at Houston
as
a
is
whole,
tradition.
And I can't put my faith in a franchise that hasn't put faith in their team to put points on the board and win. Right? It's been 4 years since they've had a winning record, and it's not getting any better. You're still in full rebuild mode.
Which is exactly why I don't think it's okay for them to fire Lovey. I don't think it's okay. It doesn't make sense. It's exactly why it isn't okay for them to fire their last coach. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Absolutely
like a pastor.
You know what? If you are going to move any franchise to London, make it the fucking Houston Texans. It has been an absolute disaster since it started, and it should be removed. And you can start it again in another 5 years. Houston is a major metropolitan market. I'm not saying that they don't deserve a franchise. What I'm saying is that this attempt at a franchise has been a fucking disaster. Yes, they've won playoff games. I understand that. They've been an exciting team at times, but if you look at the entire history of the franchise, it's been bad. It's been bad.
If you shit talk Matt Schaub one more time,
they're two best quarterbacks that they've had in the franchise history: Deshaun Watson and Matt Schaub.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to take the Titans here because I think tackling Derrick Henry in 50 or 40 degree weather sounds terrible. Tackling him in feels like -5 degree weather sounds much worse.
So I'm by myself. Sick.
You are by yourself, but I absolutely love it, Bobby.
I get it.
I'm rooting for you for me to lose.
I am with you on that one, Aaron.
Yeah.
So Aaron's reverse jinxing here. He's like,
So
dude,
I think
Bobby's got Santa Claus.
And he's wearing a Santa hat. He's wearing a Santa hat right now.
I think the interesting thing about when you look at all of this is that this is the most plausible game, really, of this week, where you're looking at a team with a real legitimate losing record that has zero chance to do anything. It's eliminated. That could beat a team that could win their division, right? Like, or make a playoff. Let's call it playoff push in general.
Yeah.
And it's a divisional matchup. It's not out of the realm of possibility for fucking the Titans to just lay a big old poo-poo turd and just
Hey, that's a division game. Division games are always close. I think the Texans have some pride to play for this week.
I like the pick.
So
I like it too. I thought about it this afternoon, and I thought I'm too much of a pussy, but yeah.
Yep, me too.
I appreciate your stands.
I'm a big old bitch.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a game that you two clowns. No, I'm just kidding. Want to talk about the Bengals. Love you guys. Sorry, the winter loggers are kicking in, and I'm feeling a little frisky.
I
feel a little frisky myself.
Yeah, just let it roll, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
We've got
the words of Carrie Underwood. Jesus, take the wheel.
Take it from my
hands.
That's really good, Bob.
Bengals on the road in New England. I don't think this is a tough game for me to pick. It is going to be another game that is going to be absolutely freezing.
Yeah.
Like anything in the Midwest to the northeastern side of the country this week, it's going to be abysmal. I would not want to be outside playing in this. I feel for these guys. They take these hard hits, in warm weather, and they still hurt. I can't imagine what that shit feels like when it's, negative. That just has to be tenfold. But Aaron, lead us off here. Who you got?
What? Me?
Yeah, you. We're going to go quick, and then we'll let them talk.
All right. Well,
I'll lead. I got the Bengals next.
Okay. Thank you for that half second. Listen, I'm going to take the Patriots, guys. There's a lot of games this week that I think are going to go the opposite way that everyone thinks it's going to. I think the Bengals are on a hot streak. I'm going to play into the pun of the fact that it's going to be frigid across the entire United States. This has weird written all over it because everything that we've said leading into this game is the Patriots. Wow, what a terrible ending to last week. Yeah, Foxborough in December is a fucking tough place to win football games, regardless of who's on the roster. And I think the Patriots just lean on the ground game. I have watched 2 games now as a Browns fan heavily where the Bengals just refuse to just let Mixon just run between the tackles, and it's all outside runs. And I don't really trust Mixon in a ground game. Although I'm not saying he's a bad running back. He's a great hybrid running back where he's a good receiving back. He's a fine running back. I'm going to trust the Ramondre Stevenson types this week. And I'm going to take the Patriots here, guys, because I think I'm going to fade you two.
Okay. Corey.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Ramondre Stevenson is fantastic, and he had a great game last week against the Raiders. He is a good running back. The Bengals' rush defense is better. It just is, and that team continuously proves how deep they are. It doesn't. I mean, they played the entire game without Trey Hendrickson, and obviously the first half almost no pressure on Tom Brady. Second half, I don't know what the fuck it is, man. I don't know if they get Michael's special sauce or his magic juice or whatever, and they just drink the Space Jam water at halftime. But that defense just comes out fucking possessed. I think the linebacking core is something that the Patriots have not had to play against this entire season. When you're considering Jermaine Pratt, who is having a career year right now and a contract year, hell of a time to have it. And then you have a guy, and then you have a guy like Logan Wilson there backing up that stout defensive line of BJ Hill, DJ Reader, Sam Hubbard, who may miss a lot of time actually coming into this game. But looking back for the playoffs. But they just continuously find a way to rise up to whatever is going on. And another thing here, this is going to be fucking crazy. I think the Bengals are a better coached team than are the Patriots. I think they are a better coached team. Look, Bill Belichick is not running that offense. That's Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia's running that offense.
You have a defensive-minded guy running your offense, a quarterback that has been frustrated with this offense for the last 2 months. If you take away that run game, which the Bengals are very good at doing, if you take away that run game, the Patriots have nothing. They have nothing. And if it is going to be cold, it's not like Mac Jones is a guy that's battle-hardened in the cold and is just going to get out there and sling it. You saw what happened against Buffalo in the playoffs last year in that blizzard. They were terrible. They got the shit beat out of them. So the Bengals, what they have done is really gotten good at that small, intermediate to low-range passing game where they're putting Chase in the slot and they're getting them over the top and banging it, bang, bang, bang. The thing to watch, though, the Patriots have one of the highest sack percentages of defensive line. This is going to be the biggest test for the Bengals offensive line here, a unit that has gotten better as we've gone last 6 weeks. I think they've allowed 7 to 8 sacks. I think over the last 6, they've gotten good. Since the bye week, they've improved, no doubt about it. It's going to be interesting to watch how they match up here against this defensive line. But I think the small passing game that they've relied on as of late and the ability to stop the run is the reason why the Bengals come out on top again and get their 7th straight win.
Okay, Todd.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that you bring up the rush or the pass rush of the Patriots, because we're talking about a guy, Matthew Judon, that's very quickly becoming a superstar in this game.
Yeah.
It's really incredible to watch him get out on the field and do the things that he does. And unfortunately for New England, though, that's the dimension of their pass rush, right? And you can very easily move the ball away from Udon and force.
Did you just silent his J?
Judon.
Matt Udon? Like I'm going yogging.
I've had a lot of PBRs. If I did, it was unintentional.
He's going yogging.
So I think you look at 69mega.com. Thank you so much for coming.
It's the pancake
breakfast.
We do it every month.
But I think the interesting thing here, when you look into this game and you look at what New England does week over week, is that you're talking about a Raiders defense that still put up 24 against the Patriots defense, right? That's the thing
offense,
that's the thing where I get less concerned about what are they going to do to stop the Bengals on offense, right? And Aaron, I hear you to a certain extent of what Joe Mixon is in the NFL as a hybrid running back, but you have 2 of those in your backfield, and you could provide fresh legs for most of the game with both of those guys being out on the field. So I think that kind of alleviates anything that New England can do to slow them down with running the ball / throwing the ball short into the flat, whatever it may be.
It's not so much that it's the Bengals want to throw the ball, and I don't blame them, because when I have Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins, I would want to do that a lot too.
Sure.
It's they get away from it in times when they shouldn't.
I agree with that. I agree with that. You're right. But I just think that what I've watched, I with the exception really of the first half of last week, I've watched them make the necessary adjustments immediately on offense to be able to kind of alleviate what the pressure is that comes to them for that.
And can I just say, like, it's going to sound weird coming out of my mouth, but I'm going to say it. You almost want them to lose so that they're not just like having won 9 straight going into the playoffs.
This would be the one.
This would be the one to lose. Like, if you're going to lose a game out of the next 3, you got the Patriots, then the Bills on Monday night, and then the Ravens, which presumably could be for the division and probably will get flexed out to the Sunday night game to end the year. Because when you're looking at the other options, it's like Lions, Packers. Packers aren't going to be vying for a playoff spot. Those could be the only 2 teams that are really. The other one is Titans, Jaguars. And if you're comparing Bengals, Ravens, and Titans, Jaguars, there's a clear answer there. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're going to lose one out of the next 3 games,
this is the one. Yeah,
that's the one you want to lose.
Right.
And kind of like, oh shit, we got to fucking snap back and keep. But they've just been so fucking hot as of late, man.
So before we move off of this game, there's one stat I want to bring here, and this is according to Action Network. And this is on the money line. And we're degenerates. New England is getting 22% of the bets on the money line.
Okay.
They are getting 96% of the money.
So they expect them to cover.
No. So what I'm saying is 88% of those bets. So that means sharps are throwing millions at the Patriots to win this game.
Oh, of the volume of bets that are going at it, the volume is going towards the Bengals, but the amount of money is going
96% towards the Patriots.
That's interesting. That's fucking interesting, man.
Because your common bettor is going to throw a 5-er, a 10-er, a 20-er at the game. There's going to throw it in a parlay, throw it in whatever. They're getting 88% of the overall bets on Cincinnati. 96% of the purse is on the Patriots.
There's another interesting interesting note here about the Bengals against the spread. I'm trying to look at it over the last few games, like the last the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm trying to look at against the spread. The Bengals have covered the spread in like their last 12 games or something like that.
It's 15 of their last 19 or something crazy like that. Where the
Bengals have covered. Yeah,
this is going to be the Sharps' biggest week because they already put their bets in last Sunday because they looked at the forecast a week ago.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. I mean, and look, I think it's going to be a knockdown, drag out game. Aaron made the point. It's not easy to win in Foxborough in December, but when I look at that Patriots offense, there's little reason for hope. There's little reason for hope.
Yeah, what happens if you shut Ramondre down? There's no
nothing.
Response to
nothing.
That. Yeah.
There's not. What, Devontae Parker? Is that what? I'm good with Cam Taylor-Britt against Devontae Parker. I'm good.
Yeah.
Kobe Myers.
Yeah. It
give him the ball.
Yeah.
Have him throw it.
Moving on.
It's good to hear you, Bobby.
Thank you. Take a little break.
How many beers did you get down during our soliloquy there?
I don't know. I was reading all these comments from 69 Mega. Very compelling. Thank you for the great additions to chat.
First of all, can I just I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been hanging with us so far tonight. We appreciate you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so
Whatever
much.
You celebrate. Happy holidays.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah. Merry Chrysler. If you don't already subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok and on Facebook as well. We love you guys. You guys make the show. So a shout out to Mystery. Been holding down the chat, man.
Dude,
appreciate
Greg,
you.
Bruce.
Whether you celebrate
everybody.
Toyotathon, Honda Days, whatever.
Happy Honda Days. Yeah.
Carp, and obviously Mafia Sports Report. Thanks for every Wednesday.
Yeah, we are simulcast on Mafia Sports Report. Thank you so much.
Definitely enjoy it. We got the Bills matchup coming up here soon, so stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
We've got the Giants. This is probably going to be a game one of the few games that's not affected by the weather in the Midwest. We got the Giants headed to Minnesota, take on the Vikings
In a dome.
in the old dome. So no conditions. It's probably going to be loud. The power might go out. We'll see. I'm sure they'll have the generators kicking and going, but we've got just a steaming matchup between Brian Daboll's led Giants and Kirk Cousins, biggest dick in the NFL right now. I mean,
no, he went from like really, really micro to like average.
Yeah,
I mean that's still a nice leap.
What's wrong with that?
How dope would it be? How dope would it be if they're just like, "Hey, we're gonna open this. We're gonna open the."
Wait,
dome.
you guys are average? What? All right, Aaron, lead us off. Who you got?
This one sucks, guys, because
Yeah,
I am
I'm
really
glad you're going first.
really off. I am really, really off the Vikings right now.
Even after that just monumental comeback last week.
Yeah, but
Against
can we
the
talk
Colts.
about what it takes to get to that point? To when somebody makes the greatest comeback of all time, you have to suck absolute dick to get there. And I don't like what they did the week before. The Colts are bad, and they're coached by Jeff Saturday. I'm going to take the Giants here.
Wow.
I don't really have much for you guys on this game, other than the fact that I'm just really sour on the Vikings. Very sour on the Vikings.
That's fair.
They won last week, and they won in overtime, and it was really, really awesome to watch Argentina, France leading into that game.
Yeah.
And you have this like just ridiculous game right after it. It was a fantastic day of sports.
What a beautiful day in sports last Saturday was.
I mean, the whole weekend was incredible. Yeah, the World Cup final was amazing.
Beautiful.
Football was awesome. It was just such a great day. But
I'm taking the Giants, guys.
Okay, Aaron's got the Giants. Todd, who do you got?
God, I just can't take Daniel Jones over Kirk Cousins, guys. I just
What a
can't.
weird sentence.
I know it doesn't feel great, but that's kind of what it comes down to, right? I watched that Sunday night game, guys, and that was a tough win. That was a tough win. And here's the thing: is I understand the Commanders are playing better on defense, but there were a lot of times when New York had the ball and they were rolling, and it just fell apart quick. And while we've talked about on this, I believe this is the third week in a row I've said the Vikings defense is bad. I believe they can put up a fair amount of points against the Giants defense. So I'm taking the Vikings here in the Dome. It's 1:00. Kirk Cousins is playing. It's Michigan State all over again. He's playing
Still
on Saturday. It's good. It's good.
So here's what I want to say. I'm taking the Vikings here, and my sole reasoning is if you saw the routes that Justin Jefferson was running last week, they were just absolutely disgusting. That man was just running the tightest routes, leaving everybody in the dust. That little double move that he did for that touchdown, Corey, I think you even sent us a video about it.
It's disgusting.
That was just one of the most like just insane routes I've seen that just left somebody. It was just an absolute thing of beauty. There's nobody.
Rob, thanks for
on that
liking the stream, man.
Mr. Meter, what's up, baby? We're getting your Bears next, so stay tuned. But yeah, I think Justin Jefferson, he's gonna steal this game again. I think Justin Jefferson is going to be the sole reason the Vikings take it over the Giants. I'm taking the Vikings.
He is quite the talent.
Corey.
Yeah, so looking at these two teams' defenses, because there's something to be noted about them. The Vikings' defense, actually, in terms of rush defense, about middle of the road. Pass defense, it is no longer the worst. It is the second worst, just behind the Titans, who have the worst pass defense in the NFL. The Vikings now are 31st in pass defense. But when you look at rush defense, the Giants are one of the three worst teams at defending the run. The Vikings are about middle of the road. And when you look at what these teams do best, obviously the Giants, it is the rush. That is what they do best on offense, is run the ball through Saquon and utilize that. The Vikings are actually middle of the road when it comes to that. If they can limit that in some form, I think that's what they're going to be willing to give up things on the passing front this week and take things away on the ground. I am going to go with the Vikings at home over the Giants.
All right, Corey. Or
Saquon
sorry,
is
Aaron,
not
by
just
yourself.
Saquon is not just a rushing running back.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
Fair
we've
enough.
got-
That's my only rebuttal to that.
We've got so the only person that has not stepped out on a limb on their own is Todd. So we've got Corey taking the Saints against the three of us.
What the hell?
I've got the Texans, and Aaron has the Giants. So Todd, I guess it's your turn to take a step out on the old olive branch.
Probably not. I'm just saying it now. Probably not.
I mean, there's eight.
Do you
There's eight.
not want to be a partridge in a pear tree?
Yeah.
No. I want to stay in this competition and keep it like a Toiger. We're doing Austin Powers references. We're going right in.
And then week 8, he's just gonna go crazy. Or week 18, he's
just-
just gonna go nuts.
You are such a 2 golden doves guy, dude. It's such bullshit.
Aaron, can you do us a favor? Mystery says they don't understand the money line. Can you kind of explain that?
So the money line is going to you win to just win the game. So if you're looking at a what was the game I just had up, for instance? So we have the Vikings and the Giants, right? So the spread is always going to be around like 110 on each side because Vegas is always going to get their money. So for instance, this game's spread is -4 or -4 to the Vikings, +4 to the Giants. You're going to get -110 odds whether you want either side. Vegas thinks this is going to be a 4-point game. But if you're not feeling so juicy, you just want to say, I just want to pick the winner of this game because the Giants are +4 in this game and you think they're just going to outright win it, you're going to get the odds at +175. So if I lay $100 down because I think the Giants are going to upset the Vikings of this game, I'm actually going to win $175 as opposed to the Vikings in this game are -210 on the money line. So I have to now lay $210 down to win 100. So the money line is just betting the victor of the game, but you're going to get a lot of plus juice to just pick the outright winner. If you think it's going to be an upset, a lot of times you're going to favor the underdog, but you're going to get negative juice if you're just going to take that. So if you
Higher risk, high reward.
Yeah, high risk, high reward. But if you think there's 2 teams that you're just confident that are going to win this game, maybe you parlay 2 money lines and you combine them together. So the money line is just
like
betting
Tom
the
Brady
victor
there.
of the game.
That was a beautiful explanation of that, by the way.
Yeah, no, that was got me going. I can't wait.
It's
I
like
can't wait till
It's like you've been
January.
gambling for a while.
Did I just sign up for like $1,000 worth of free bets today when as shit goes live January 1? Yeah,
Yes,
I did.
yes, you did. I still have 3 email
4
addresses
apps on
that
my
need to
phone I
sign
can't
up,
use
so, Yes. Okay, let's move on. Bills Mafia, this one's for you. Rob, if you're still in here, this one's for you as well. We've got the Buffalo Bills headed to Chicago, Soldier Field. Going to be absolutely brutal up there. Taking on the Bears. Let's see. Who haven't I picked on in a while?
You. Let's start with you.
Okay, we'll start with me. I love what Justin Fields has been doing these last couple of weeks. I think this guy is just an absolute
losing?
freak. No, I meant him just personally as a
Losing.
as an individual because the Bears team as a whole is garbage. But what he's been able to do since they've actually just let him loose and let him run the football has been nothing short of incredible. I mean, he's one of 4 quarterbacks who have 1,000-yard rushing season. So that's something to be said there. The man's talented. I think if they get him some solid receivers and a decent running game around him, which I think he's got the running game. The running backs just can't stay healthy. But I mean, that's all I can say. The Bills are taking this game, guys. You've got two teams that are used to playing up north, playing in the cold. This is going to be another brutal game, but I think Josh Allen and the Bills get it done. Corey.
Yeah, I'm still not impressed. I take that back. The Bills look pretty. The Bills offense did what they needed to do last week against
Josh Allen took care of business.
Yeah, he did. He was like, all right, well, we're down to what, 21-29. I'm just gonna fucking take this thing over, and he did it.
He did.
Miami showed up in Buffalo though. Everyone's talking about how they needed heaters in fucking 50-degree weather.
Yeah, well, they only got the heaters back there in LA because the Chargers requested them. So let's be very clear that the reason I'm just pointing that out there, that the Dolphins didn't request the heaters against the Chargers in Los Angeles. The Chargers requested them. So, but anyway, I don't think there's a whole lot to look at here. The only thing, maybe the Bills are looking ahead a week. Maybe they're looking at that Monday night matchup against the Bengals. Maybe they're not watching as much film against the Bears, and they're more prepping for the Bengals because of how pivotal a matchup that is in terms of seeding and how important that matchup is. And they feel like they can just get by the Bears on talent, which they probably can and probably will. I'm going with the Bills here.
If I'm the Bears, I'm looking at everything that the Bills have done the last 2 years, and I'm going to try to emulate every single thing that they're doing right now. I think Justin Fields can basically be crazy enough, like a more run heavy version of what Josh Allen is doing, switching what they do between run and pass. If the Bears were playing like 2/3 of the rest of the NFL, I would be so inclined to take the Bears in this game in an upset. If the Bears were at home against the Buccaneers, if the Bears were at home against, I'm trying to think of another good example, but
Packers.
The Packers. Well, no, but it's still like actually I would. The Chargers. Even the Chiefs, I would be inclined to maybe even take a flyer on the Bears this week. Justin Fields, like you said, Bobby, I'm so impressed with everything that he's doing this year. He's coming into his own as a quarterback. He's looking like the best quarterback in that draft class, which nobody thought 2 weeks into this NFL season. They thought he was the worst. I'm going to take the Bills here because Josh Allen does exactly what Justin Fields does right now, just a tad pinch better. And again, this is going to be a cold game. Soldier Field is hard to play in when it's these type of temperatures, and the Bills are not. They're used to this. It
is an old concrete structure that just holds in that cold. It just radiates.
It's similar to Cleveland Browns Stadium. The wind swirls off the lake, and it's ridiculous. And it's a hard surface to play on.
Yes.
I'm gonna take the Bills here. I will not be surprised if the Bears somehow win this game.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's Buffalo here, fellas. I just can't see a world even where it comes down to coaching, right? I think we're talking about, McDermott wins that matchup 1-on-1 anyway. So just to wrap it up beautifully with a nice Christmas bow, taking the Bills.
This is going to be that Jacksonville game where I text you guys in the third quarter and go,
hey, look at the Bears.
Remember when I said this?
On it right now.
When I said this?
We've got the next game is the Commanders headed out to the Bay to take on the 49ers. I think this one is pretty straightforward for all of us. I'm taking the Niners. Corey?
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners.
Aaron?
It's a brisk 60 in San Francisco. I'll go take the 49ers.
Todd?
Biggest snub in the Pro Bowl for me is CMC. I'm taking the Niners.
Okay. Anything we want to touch on here, or we just want to move on?
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's not in the Pro Bowl, and he's had a really
that dropped right before we were jumping on. I still haven't looked at it.
Yeah, I think honestly the Commanders were cute. It was nice to watch them try, and we're gonna watch the Super Bowl contender just beat their ass.
God, it's such a demise with Washington. I just want to point out before we move on that I like what Taylor Heineke has attempted to do.
I like Heineke.
He's such a gamer.
Yeah, as a person, it's great to watch him because that dude truly gives 130% on the field.
Sure.
He just doesn't have the next level. Right, I watch him play, and I watch him try to make passes, and I'm just like, you're so close, but you just can't do it, man. I wish you could do it, but yeah, I'm not going against anything that has to do with the Niners defense right now.
They're on fire.
It's an insurmountable beast.
Not to spend too much time on this game, but put Heineke on the 49ers. Are they better or worse than with Purdy?
Probably the same.
right? That's how I feel too.
Yeah, it's equal. It's an equal playing field because you still have somebody better calling those plays for him too.
Yeah, makes sense.
For sure. All right, moving on. We've got a gigantic NFC East divisional matchup this week. It is going to be taking place in a dome, no weather affected. We've got the just absolute supernovas, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're beyond hot at this point. Taking on the Cowboys, coming off a tough couple weeks. A close call the week prior, and then obviously that pick six to end the game last week against the Jags.
This is beautiful.
Dak Prescott not playing his best football over the last, I would say month and a half.
Probably because he's poorly coached.
Todd, why don't you lead us off and tell us all about Mike McCarthy and your feelings on that?
Sure. Well, I'll just say what I've said the last 2 weeks. Mike McCarthy's a bad coach, right? So I'll start there.
Good place to start.
Yeah, this is I don't think this game is as overly critical as it would have been even like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? Because you already have two teams that have clinched playoff spots, right? No matter what, they're already in the playoffs, and if you don't get Jalen Hurts, you still get Gardner Minshew out there, who has proven to be a winner in the NFL when he has to get into games and win.
Yep.
When he inherited the Jacksonville offense, it was already completely upside down, and he had a winning record for, I believe, 7 weeks of his starting time, and then it was an insurmountable comeback for him, right? And the difference is that I think Philadelphia has the majority of the assets that he needs to be able to distribute the ball and put points on the board. And worst case scenario, you can run the ball away from Micah Parsons, and it's probably not the worst thing in the world, right? Here is my concern is that I don't know if Dak Prescott could put up points against this Eagles defense. That's where I feel kind of I think it's easy to say that without Jalen Hurts, you could pick the Cowboys and it's comfortable, but I'm still picking the Eagles here, fellas. I don't trust anything that this Cowboys team does getting down into the stretch, getting into playoff time, because they'll just disappoint you. I have no confidence in decision making down there.
Okay, fair enough. Corey.
I get what you're saying. I get it. All of that makes sense. The last time I bet against the Cowboys when Vegas told me not to was the Minnesota Vikings game. Right now, the Cowboys are 4.5, 5-point favorites against the Eagles at home. Maybe there's something with the timing that Jalen has developed with AJ and Devontae, and that offense has gotten going due to that timing, due to that chemistry. And maybe that's something I'm looking for a reason to justify what I'm about to do right now. But
Corey,
Vegas is telling me to take the Cowboys, and I'm going to listen. And I'm taking the Cowboys at home.
I figured this was a game we were going to be split on. So, Aaron, I'm interested to see what you have to say here.
Gardner Minshew has a touchdown to interception comparison of 41-12. Gardner Minshew, in my opinion, is probably like a top 25 quarterback in the league.
Whoa!
I think he happened to land in a situation where we didn't think Jalen Hurts was going to be what he was, and I think the Eagles were hedging their bets, and I think they have one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league, and we just haven't had a chance to see him. I think a lot of people forget in his rookie year, he went 21-6, second year 16-5. He's not bad. He's basically what people think Baker Mayfield is supposed to be. He's a fucking dog, dude. He just reminds me of Johnny Damon playing quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I know this guy is just doing fucking
What a parallel.
Just doing fucking
just overpaid.
Cock open push-ups in the locker room.
According to Jonah Hill, he's overpaid. Let's just put that out.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
We lost Aaron here, but we'll get him back here shortly. But listen, I understand everything that he is saying. It makes sense. I get it. Again, the same points that I was making when I was talking earlier. I get it. But there's a reason Vegas is telling me to take the Cowboys, and I'm going to follow it. Again, that being said, let me put Gardner Minshew was excused from practice yesterday. He attended the funeral of Mike Leach, his old head coach. There needs to be some time to develop that rhythm. And I'm not trying to make a ploy off of, something terrible that he had to be a part of. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like piggyback off the fact that he was at a funeral or anything like that, but he did miss practice time. And as a new starter coming in, like, he needs those reps with that first team to get on the same page with everything. So I'm just putting that out there. Gardner Minshew, he did miss a practice this week attending Mike Leach's funeral.
Here's where I'll counter that point. There's a lot of times where we see that people that struggle and have to attend things like that come out and play their absolute hearts out, lights
Absolutely.
out. When they're grieving, and Gardner Minshew, yes, he's a backup quarterback. He's extremely talented, but this week he has something to play for. And I think that's going to come out. I think that's going to show. I'm riding the jorts. I'm riding the stash. Do you want a mustache ride this week? This guy does. I'm taking the Eagles.
So let me be again, another thing, like everything that you guys are saying, that all makes total sense. If I'm going to bet on a 13-1 team to lose a game,
yeah, this is the one.
This one makes a lot of sense for me,
it does.
right? Like,
yeah.
For them to end up at 13 and what was the fucking 15-2 or whatever that they're going to end up at, or 14-3 if they sit everybody in the final week against the Giants. It makes sense for them to drop one here, and Vegas is feeling that at -5. Aaron, I don't know if you have any of the cash flow stats on this one. Like you did on the last one, but with
for the money
Bengals.
line or for
like that you had
right.
like,
so for the money line, Philly's getting 44% of the bets, 94% of the money.
94% of the money. Interesting. So yeah, it's I'm going against the Sharks on 2 bets, so it'll probably turn out good for me.
the thing with this though too is Gardner Minshew was there last year as well.
Yeah.
So him missing, like you said, and obviously we mentioned it last podcast, and we're a very pro Mike Leach podcast.
Yes,
we love him, and of course Gardner was there for his time at Washington State.
Yeah.
I don't think him missing that is, if anything, I feel like that endears him more to his teammates.
No, and Bobby made that point.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, and
I fucking power outage or something. Yeah,
my thing flickered.
All good.
I think my wife was running the saw downstairs.
Your thing flickered. Nice.
The meatloaf.
I love Gardner Minshew. I'm a big fan of him. I actually wanted the Browns to trade for him when he was available. I think, yeah.
Interesting.
Mustache rides and massage tables, baby. Let's get it.
Oh boy.
Different years.
Okay. We've got the Raiders coming off one of the most interesting wins that we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
Taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Took on an ailing Panthers team. Obviously, Kenny Pickett has practiced this week. He cleared concussion protocol, so he should be starting this week for Pittsburgh. Thank Raiders, God. Right?
Yeah.
I will say, Trubisky didn't look terrible last week, but he definitely didn't look great. So
that's the Panthers defense, buddy.
That's the best sound in the world, by the way, Corey. Thank you for that. Actually, second best sound. The crack of a baseball bat's first.
Fair enough.
Gets my nipples hard.
It really does.
What about
it does.
What about the tickling of the twine?
Nope.
Ooh,
that's I will.
Bat. Maybe we should do a best sounds draft.
Oh, best sounds of sports. I think that's coming up next week. Best sounds of sports draft.
Oh, you bastards!
You heard it here first.
Beer here.
Ice cold beer. All right, we got the Raiders on the road in Pittsburgh. It's going to be another cold one. I think they said it's going to be 5 degrees start time.
Yeah,
for the game. So it's obviously summertime weather there in Pittsburgh.
I'll lead this one.
It's an 8:15 p.m. game.
Yeah, imagine loading a plane, flying 4 hours, even though by NFL standards they have nice, flying arrangements.
Yeah.
4-hour flight, and you're gonna get off at that temperature. No, I'm taking Pittsburgh here.
Nobody's
The
getting
Raiders,
off at that temperature.
The Raiders have nothing to play for. No, what I'm saying is this is gonna be fucking bone crushing temperatures. I'm gonna keep doing this week. I'm going to take the team that I favor weather-wise, and I'm gonna take the Steelers. Corey.
Yeah, I'm just taking the team that I think is a better team, and I'm taking the Steelers as well. I think they play better football. The Raiders are too inconsistent for me to put my money on them. I got a Raiders fan sitting here in the chat with Bruce telling me to take the Steelers, and I'm going to listen to him. I'm going with the Steelers.
They know.
Fellas, there's a lot more to play for in Pittsburgh this week as well, right? Obviously, with hearing about the passing of Franco Harris this morning.
Good call.
Retiring his number.
You're talking about the 50th anniversary of the play. Yeah. There's a lot to play for in Pittsburgh, and it is going to be BDE for the Steelers all night against the Raiders. I think the Raiders are fucking bums.
Big douche energy.
Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are bums, fellas. Other than Josh Jacobs, and obviously Devontae Adams is super talented. I don't want to take anything away from him. But that offense is just so stagnant.
Who'd you have as your MVP going into the season, Todd?
My dark horse MVP was Derek Carr. I've already said that I was wrong. I've admitted my fault there. I thought that.
Hey, to be fair, mine was Tom Brady. Mine was Tom Brady.
Mine was Lamar.
I thought that he would rise to the occasion.
Wait, no. Who was your dark horse, Bobby? Your dark horse for MVP was not Josh Allen.
No, I thought we were talking about. I don't remember who my dark horse was.
I had Josh Allen as my MVP. No one had Jalen Hurts. Let's be very clear about that.
Yeah,
the odds favorite right now. But Todd had Derek Carr. I had Tom Brady. Aaron had Lamar.
Maybe Justin Herbert. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think so because I think that was just my flat out.
I can't. Well, we'll have to review the tape.
Man, but here's the thing. I'm not that far off super often, but Derek Carr has shown me that he doesn't compute in the NFL.
Like an 04 Saturn. He's broke down.
Yeah.
Hey,
get the key out of the ignition.
On the 04 Saturns. Todd's brother drove one of those for God knows how long. And
me too.
Ran like a top.
Dude, I had an 04 Saturn that literally the key would get stuck.
That's what I just said. I said you couldn't get the key out of the ignition.
Yeah. I had to fucking literally either smother the carburetor or just let it run out of gas.
The difference is Derek Carr is never on.
Yeah, exactly. Mine was always on.
That's so true. Christ. Here's the thing is I don't think I've ever been this incorrect about a player's potential ever in my life with Derek Carr. I really thought that things were gonna.
If it makes you feel any better,
Derek Carr in the first round of our Superflex League, Todd.
If it makes you feel any better, I thought that Josh Rosen was going to be at the end of the day, not initially, but at the end of the day, was going to be the best quarterback in that draft. So if that makes you feel any better, there we go.
Well, makes me more sad. Makes me more sad for Josh Rosen.
No, I was fucking high on Rosen too.
Here's what I said in that draft. I was like, Darnold is a bust. I said that immediately. I said Baker is the most pro ready at the time, but Josh Rosen in 5 years will be the best. Is what I said.
You weren't wrong. You just got the wrong Josh.
You still got a year. You still got a year for Josh Rosen.
You never know.
Hang on.
He just signed with somebody for a practice. Was it No, not the Cardinals practice squad. He just signed with another practice.
I think he's folding towels for the Vikings. Yeah.
Well, so did they release David Blau, former Lions, superstar David Blau?
Hard knocks heartthrob.
Michigan this week tries out their towel boy.
I really thought that there was going to be something in Las Vegas. I felt like with Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr and Devontae Adams and Waller and Renfro, all these pieces, right? All the offense just made so much sense. And it's just been horrible. Play calling's bad. With the exception of Josh Jacobs, right? I don't want to take anything away from him. He's played great, but fuck. So Derek Carr, you hurt me too much. I don't respect you anymore. It's hurt my feelings.
All right, so Todd's on Vegas this week.
Back to the Raiders Steelers. I've got the Steelers. I was before my morning meeting at work, I was just scrolling through social media and I saw that Franco Harris passed, and I was just devastated.
I think he's in his 60s, if I'm not mistaken.
70. He was 70.
Oh, 70. I'm sorry. Okay.
76. It just kind of puts life into perspective. I know that our dads, for all of us, are getting up in that range, and 76 just seems really young.
Yeah.
And Franco Harris was, he was one of those guys that, you just grew up, you saw that play, like growing up. Everybody knows that play where, obviously the camera wasn't great, back in the day, but you just see him coming out of nowhere and grabbing the ball. You don't know if it skipped the ground or not because they didn't have the angle back then.
Skip the fucking ground, Bobby. But it's still great. It was awesome. It was cool.
Well, the sad thing of it too is they had already planned on retiring his jersey this week. Like that's not like a new thing.
No, yeah, it was.
Wow.
The crazy thing was last year, my dad and my dad's best friend, Uncle Bobby, Todd, I know you know him. They actually had plans to go have dinner with Franco Harris up in Pittsburgh, and they weren't able to go because Franco Harris, was not. They said he just couldn't make it, but
probably not well.
I would assume he wasn't. He was struggling from some health conditions. For the last year or so, and obviously now it's come to fruition. He's no longer here, but it sucks. But I got Pittsburgh.
A lot of energy in the stadium this week.
Yeah, tons of energy. I think it's going to be a great day for the Steelers. Franco looking down, and there you might see an immaculate-esque reception this week.
Great football player, honestly. A guy whose name I had wrong for most of my life.
What do you mean?
I thought his name was Frank O'Harris.
No shit.
Yeah. Thought his name was Frank O'Harris. Thought he was some fucking
Irish, eh?
half Irishman running around out there. Some fucking Mick out there
Frank
trying to
O'Harris.
make a play. Frank O'Harris is what I thought his name was for most of my life.
Oh,
I don't think I'm alone there, though. I want to put that out there. I don't think I'm alone. There's people out there that are like, yep, I'm with you.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
Yeah.
All right. So we all four got the Steelers there. Let's move on. We've got a good game that's going to be happening down in Miami this week. Whether we think it's going to be close or not, we don't know. But we're going to see Aaron Rodgers taking on Tua Tagovailoa, or how do you say it? Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
What he said. We got the Packers.
It's been fucking 7 years, Bobby. All right, just say his name right.
It hasn't been 7 years. Fuck you. And
it's been 6. Sorry.
It's still tough. All right, Corey, who you got?
So I really, as Aaron indicated earlier in this show, I was really impressed with what the Dolphins actually did up in Buffalo in terms of offensive production. I thought the Bills' defense was going to rise up a little bit more against the Dolphins than they did. But I'll be straight with you, man. The Dolphins, they hit them right back in the mouth for most of that game against the Bills. They did everything that they could to be in that game, and they were in that game. But it was just an amazing performance for Josh. And they should have won that game, actually. The Dolphins should have beaten the Bills, but the Bills Josh Allen just was Josh Allen, right? We're looking at a Packers team that is backed up against the wall, and it's very difficult for me to go out and say that the Packers are going to win this game. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins at home. Vegas is telling me to take them. They looked good against the Bills. The Packers defense is not the Bills defense. I think the Dolphins shine here against a lackluster defense against the Packers, and they win this one. I think they cover.
All right. Todd.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins here. I just don't see enough from the Packers offense to be able to compete with the Dolphins offense, especially with again, Corey said it right. I mean, that Dolphins offense was crispy against the Bills, and you're certainly not going to get covered in the secondary, or sorry, on the front that Buffalo provides. against Green Bay.
Let me just comment: the Bills' defense since Von Miller has been out has not been the same either. I should note that they have not been the same. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I think you're still seeing. Obviously, I think the thing that's been most notable from the Packers game is the miscue between Aaron Rodgers and Christian Watson, where Aaron Rodgers then post game says like, "Hey, I'm not going to throw you the ball if you don't know the plays." But it's just interesting to see the dynamic that's happening in Green Bay, and we've kind of watched a full season of stagnant offense from Green Bay, which is something we haven't really seen almost ever in our lifetime, unless I'm forgetting something. But I can only remember a time where Green Bay just puts the ball in the end zone at least 3 times a game, right? Am I missing something here? And I just don't. That's not there. And Miami has the ability to do that, so I'm taking the Dolphins.
Bruce said Von Miller gifted him a sub to his Twitch channel. That's pretty dope.
Dope. That's dope. Von Miller just seems like the nicest guy in the world, by the way.
Yeah, no, he seems like a cool ass dude. Aaron, who you got?
I'm gonna take Green Bay, guys.
Ooh!
Going against the grain. I
got you.
Thank you.
I think we're basically looking down the barrel of a gun of Green Bay just destroying Detroit fans in the last.
I said it 2 weeks ago. I said it makes all the sense in the world for the Lions to win out the next games and then lose to Green Bay.
In order for that to happen, Green Bay has to win this game.
Yeah.
This is the one game where weather isn't gonna be a factor. Listen, you guys know I love Miami. I'm a big McDaniel fan. I really, really am. The Packers have actually shown me a little bit in the last 2 weeks. Again, it's Bears, it's Rams, it's nothing impressive. But what it is a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who we're very, very accustomed to seeing in the playoffs, kind of just tripping his way into doing it again. I'm gonna take the flyer on the Packers here because I stood in front of a camera this week and gave you guys and this is the one I'm doing it on.
I like it.
I'm gonna take the Packers here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that Professor Chaos is arrowed up.
69 Mega agrees with me.
Yeah, I mean, also coming in with the absolute the best comments ever. 69 Mega, thank you. We appreciate all your time spent here
with the heat,
with the absolute fire. Aaron, you make a very compelling argument. I will not be joining you on your endeavor with the Packers. I'm going to be joining the boat that includes Corey and Todd. I love Mike McDaniel. I think
I do too.
I don't love Mike McDaniel. I like Mike McDaniel. I like him. Yeah,
I don't know how you can't like or
here's why. I like a coach that has been through the shit and pulled the team out of it. He hasn't. I've never seen Mike McDaniel.
He hasn't had to.
Cool. Exactly. Same fucking thing with Sean McVay. Hasn't had to. What's happening right now with the Rams? They're getting their fucking teeth kicked in. And where's that organization?
Just won the Super Bowl against your team.
They did. And where's Sean McVay right now as this team's getting their fucking teeth kicked in week and week out? Maybe a bad comparison. They're fine.
They
where are they going next year?
They fucking mortgaged the future to win a Super Bowl. They did.
For one Super Bowl.
Yes. And you would do the same thing.
I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
I want Patriots.
You would rather have no Super Bowl than mortgage the future for one?
I want Patriots. That's the goal.
Stupid.
That's the goal. It's not stupid.
The goal is one Super Bowl. We'll talk about 2 after you get the 1.
Here's my deal with Mike McDaniel. I like him. Let me be very clear. I like him. I think he's a great players coach and he connects with the team. Do I love him? No. Why? I haven't seen what it looks like when they're not good. I haven't.
Sample size. I just like the guy.
It is. No, you don't. You don't just like him. You love him. You love him. You love him. You've got a fucking. You've got the Hey Arnold shrine in your fucking closet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike
I'm Helga.
Yeah, you're Helga. But I like him, but I'm not sold yet because I haven't seen what it looks like when the team goes through shit. Sure, they lost Tua for 4 fucking weeks, but then what? Nothing. They're back. They're fine. They're okay.
Pull up Bruce's comment. Who wants one? Fucking franchises who haven't had one. That's us.
I get the sentiment. I get not Bobby, but I get.
No, that's why I did. Yeah, well, at least on my screen.
Yeah. No, I understand that, but from a ownership and from a GM perspective, you're not building for just one. You're trying to build a dynasty, is what you're trying to do. You're trying to build an organization that continuously produces Super Bowls. From a Los Angeles franchise perspective, I get the idea of getting just one. I get that idea because this is a city that has not supported a franchise for fucking 30 years. They have not supported a franchise.
The Rams have been in LA for like what, 4 years?
Right, but I'm talking prior to that, they were there. They didn't support them. The Raiders were there. They didn't support them. That's why they moved out. The Cardinals were there. They didn't support them. That's why they moved out. There has been many a franchise that have been in Los Angeles that have not been successful because they don't get the fan base support. Still to this day, you go to a Rams game, it's not a home game. There are more of the other team there than are the Rams fans. Rams house. Get fucked. It's not the Rams house. It's everybody else that lives in LA that just is from somewhere else and likes another team. There are no native Los Angeles fucking going to Rams games. It's just not happening.
I'm just speaking from just the only experience I have. LeBron James gutted my fucking team twice. I do it all again.
You would do it again, yeah, to get another one, right?
No.
You would redo it to get the one.
Yes.
Sure.
My nipples are getting hard just thinking about it.
My point is that from a general manager perspective, a front office perspective, your goal is not just one. You want sustainable wins. You want sustainable wins. And again, let me just come back here and just tell you, I don't hate Mike McDaniels at all. I don't. I think he's doing a really great job. He's exceeding expectations that we had prior to the season. That being said, I just don't know what it looks like when they get fucking kicked in the teeth. I don't know what it looks like yet. Like, look at Bill Belichick right now. Are we impressed with what we're seeing out of the head coaching out of Bill Belichick right now? Are we happy with what he's doing on the sidelines right now? No, we're questioning it. We're questioning it because it's the first time since Tom Brady has been gone that they are having a rough go of it. They're having a really rough go of it.
You're allowed to question it, but the second that guy retires, he's in every Ring of Honor. He's going to get a statue. He's going to be the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Because the time is there. Because the time is there, and he has won 6 fucking Super Bowls. McDaniels has not.
No, of course not.
So okay,
I don't think we were ever comparing Belichick and McDaniels.
No, I never went there.
You're right, and that's not my point. Is that I need to see McDaniels ride the trials and tribulations as well. I want to see him battle it out, get a wild card spot, and then make a run. And if they do that this year, there's something there to be said for sure. But right now, all we're talking about right now is regular season accolades. Fucking Mike McCarthy is what we're talking about right now. Regular season accolades.
Nah.
And Mike McCarthy has a fucking Super Bowl, by the way.
You're making that comparison. No one's saying he's Mike. Like,
I'm just saying he hasn't done anything yet.
No,
what have they done? They probably
it's his first year as in a head coaching spot.
Exactly. So hold the fucking horses.
Kevin Stefanski for the Browns won Coach of the Year his rookie year. Who's gonna win Coach of the Year this year? Sirianni for the Eagles. It's always fucking rookie quarterback or rookie coaches who come in there and do fucking shit.
So why isn't it McDaniels then? Why shouldn't he win over Sirianni?
Because the Eagles are 11.
Because the Eagles are 11-1.
But Sirianni's not a rookie head coach.
Is he not? Or am
no, it's his second year.
No,
second year.
Yeah,
because they fired Doug Peterson, they bring Sirianni in,
and the Eagles made the playoffs last year too. Eagles made the playoffs.
Well, but it's the same reason why it's not Andy Reid every year, or why LeBron never wins the MVP every year, or Giannis isn't going to, or Jokic isn't going to win it again this year.
I have to keep coming back to this just to make sure because I like him and I think he is doing a great job. I'm just not like this guy is. He's the next McVay. I'm just not there.
You talked about Jonah Hill for Moneyball. It's that guy coaching, but not Jonah Hill in the movie.
I love his swagger. I love the way he conducts himself. He said he always wears a shirt last week.
Social media quarterback or social media.
I wish it were colder. Like I don't know. I think the dude's
Yeah.
got a cool vibe.
Social media coach.
Sorry, that got heated. I love you, Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah, social media coach, whatever.
Social media coach.
Fuck you, Corey. Anyways, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anything else, Sir Aaron?
I'm good.
Also, let me be clear. I took the Dolphins this week.
Yeah,
I just want to make that known. I took the Dolphins.
You guys just spoke in circles around each other. I had to witness half a NASCAR race to hear you
I have to stifle because we're not talking about Zach Taylor this way. We're not, and we should be. That's my point. We're not talking about Zach Taylor the way we talk about Mike McDaniels, and we should be.
Okay. Broncos on the road, taking on the Rams. Todd, who you got?
Well, shit, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing right now after that really heated, unnecessary conversation. I'm taking the Broncos because
it's good radio.
I don't trust anything that Baker Mayfield does. We saw that 98-yard touchdown bullshit was a complete and total fluke. That Rams offense is hot-ass garbage. Rams defense, hot-ass garbage. Broncos defense, not hot-ass garbage. So I'm taking the Broncos.
Aaron.
That's my hot take. And now let's talk about it for 10 minutes.
I owe time back to the team Broncos.
Corey.
Yeah, Todd made a point he doesn't trust anything that Baker Mayfield did. I actually canceled my fucking progressive policy because of Baker Mayfield, so I'm going with the Broncos here.
I don't have enough faith in Baker Mayfield to go against you guys. I'm taking the Broncos.
To go against us or to go against the
Either way, it's the right decision.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm just trying to be a martyr here, guys.
Can I just point something out that we all talked about 3 weeks ago? I'm never fucking taking the Broncos again. Last 2 weeks, we've all just been like, Broncos. Yep, they're going to win.
I'm never taking Russell Wilson again. I agree with Todd. I trust the offense looked.
Who's the quarterback?
Ripien
this week. Baker's still not cleared.
You hate that I knew the answer.
Or sorry, Russell Wilson is.
I wanted you to be like,
Here's the thing.
Paxton Lynch, he still plays there, right?
Here's the thing with Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield in the 2-minute drill. Other than that, he's no good. If you try to put him in a set offense, he's garbage.
Here's the I love Baker.
If you let him run and gun, he somehow finds a way to get it done.
I love Baker Mayfield against Kansas is what I love. I love him against Kansas.
Boy, that Big 12 offense was solid.
Just grabbing his dick right on the sidelines. I love it.
All right. We've got the Tom Brady led Buccaneers headed to Arizona to take on the Kyler Murray-less Arizona Cardinals. Aaron, who do you have?
I'm going to take the Bucs. I mean, they're the better team. Trace McSorley, I think, is going to be playing quarterback for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
that's third string against Tom Brady. If Tom Brady can't do it at this point, just retire, bro. I'm sorry you got divorced for this season, but I'm going to take the Bucs.
Corey.
Yeah, I think this is a game where Tom Brady unleashes hell on the Cardinals. Honestly, we have a strict rule here. Don't bet on the red bird after you cut the bird. I'm going to follow that rule. I think Tom Brady, you judged it by the way that he addressed Joe Burrow after the game. I think everyone, myself included, was watching the end of that game to just kind of see that midfield meeting between Joe Burrow and Tom Brady, and he brushed it off. It was just a quick, yep, good job. And then he jogged off the field after he shook Joe Burrow's hand. In the presser after the game, they asked him, hey, what do you think about Joe Burrow, young quarterback, leading his team like that? What do you think? Yeah, he's a really good quarterback. Thanks, guys. And then walked away. I think Tom Brady is channeling inner demons right now, and he's going to absolutely fucking unleash against the Cardinals. First half Bucs offense looked great. They looked fantastic. A lot to build on. I mean, you heard Tony Romo, you heard the slobbers on the penis of Tom Brady through the entire first half of that broadcast. Just continue, just the entire time. It's ridiculous at this point. Anytime Tony Romo is broadcasting a Bengals game, by the way, the Bengals are 4-1 when Tony Romo broadcasts their games, so keep it coming. But he just loves the other quarterback so much. And that being said, most of the time it's either Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. So I get it, but
Pretty good.
Joe
Burrow deserves respect, though. I get it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the point. But I just see this as a game where he unleashes and they end up crawling into the playoffs and then probably beating the Cowboys, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. So I'm going with the Bucs. I'm going to go with the Bucs.
Excited to see it.
Todd.
So at 8 o'clock, I will actually be watching the Grizzlies and the Warriors. I will not be watching.
Oh, okay.
Christmas is for basketball.
I just want to make it very
I get it.
Yeah. So
Celtics Bucks as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's
it's a big game. So here's the thing: the Cardinals are fucking horrendous. 69mega.com. Thank you again for coming in the chat. Really appreciate it. But the Cardinals are horrendous, and Trace McSorley only makes them that much worse, right? And I was going to make a statement about Cliff Kingsbury. It is what it is at this point. Now I'm taking Tom Brady against Trace McSorley. That's it.
Yeah,
bold.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're starting to see a Chris Godwin that's starting to get 100% healthy, and I think you're seeing the impact that's actually having on the Buccaneers offense. Last couple weeks, Chris Godwin has really started to turn it on. I think you've seen the way that it's impacted Tom Brady's play as well. They had a great first half, and then the Bengals made some great adjustments and shut it down. But I don't think the Cardinals have that ability. At least defensively. Offensively, there is no ability. I got the Bucs. So
also give the ball to Rachaad White. Quit trying to get Leonard Fournette involved.
Yes, thank you.
Jesus Christ, he makes that offense move. He was an integral part of their first 2 scores. Rachaad White, that is.
absolutely.
I feel bad because I traded Darren Waller for Leonard Fournette straight up to try and get into the playoffs and missed in my dynasty league. Darren Waller can't stay on the fucking field, though. He can't stay on the fucking field, man.
Sure.
It's sad.
Yeah. Okay.
Lenny can't keep a cheeseburger out of his hand. Same difference.
Good old thick Lenny. Last game of the evening. We are running 2 hours and 36 minutes. For those of you that are still listening, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Music, Podbean, any of the platforms, or still here with us in chat, we appreciate you guys being here. Last game of the slate. We have the Chargers taking on the Colts in what is slated to be an absolute banger of a football game.
Big Dick Nick on the field.
This is going to be one where your television is going to be.
Wait, Nick Foles is starting?
Yes.
You could be staring at paint drying, and you'd
on
probably
Monday
have
night.
just as much fun watching paint dry as you would watching this game. Corey, take it away.
Oh boy, the Chargers.
This is the regular season too for Nick Foles.
And the Chargers have done well over the last couple of weeks. They've crawled up to what?
Bruce taking
8-6?
the Colts. I don't know if that impacts anybody's decision, but Bruce is taking the Colts.
I appreciate that, Bruce. So the Chargers have crawled back to 8-6. They're right there on the cusp. They're in a playoff spot right now. This makes so much sense for them to lose this game, and I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking the Colts.
I'm gonna get in there real quick. Chargers. Go ahead. Anyone else?
Yeah, Chargers. I cannot support Nick Foles moving an offense. I can't.
Go ahead. Love it.
Thank you.
This is where I'm a little torn, right? Because there was a stat that came out that said Nick Foles has started and won a game in every season of his career up to this point. In every season, doesn't matter if it's one game or if it's any games.
I don't trust Jeff Saturday.
The Colts.
He's
are
due.
God, he's so due.
He already got one.
Corey, I'm riding this train with you, man. I'm taking the Colts.
Thank
Let's
God.
go, baby.
I'll take a game here, fellas. Good night.
Oh, I just cannot wait. I know I'm taking a flyer here, but it just makes so much sense for the Chargers to lose this fucking primetime game.
It's Nick Foles.
The
It's
Chargers
Nick Foles
suck in primetime.
Nick Foles in primetime is
on Christmas. And also the Chargers suck in primetime. They're terrible in primetime. They consistently fucking lose these
Michael
games.
Pittman Jr. has 10 catches for over $150 and a touchdown.
Not a chance in hell. He hasn't even
Mark my fucking words.
All right, I'm looking at a dual charity bet.
Hold on. Michael Pittman had like 90 yards last week against the Vikings, by the way.
Michael Pittman goes for $150 this week.
Yeah.
That's
what did they do in the second half?
What are the terms of that?
Not run the ball.
Well, again, so here's the thing. Integral part of the Colts offense. Oh, no Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, but they know that going into this week. That is difference. That is a difference. They know that you can prepare for that. You can scheme around not having him. That matters.
Nick Foles. Okay.
Yeah, you mean no? Hold on. Put some fucking respect on that. You mean Super Bowl champion Nick Foles is what you mean, sir.
Okay, Barry Switzer and Mike McCarthy.
The Philly special.
I don't give a fuck about a Super Bowl win for Nick.
All right,
Foles.
so let me ask you this: you have to win one game, or they're gonna fucking cut your balls off. You get Matt Ryan or Nick Foles. Who do you want?
That's a trick question.
It's a real question. I'm asking you right now. Who do you want?
I'll take Justin Herbert.
No, that's not what I'm asking.
I'm taking Nick Foles over Matt Ryan.
Well, yeah, you take the guy that didn't give up a 25-point lead.
Well, here's the thing. What's Nick Foles' investment in my dick getting cut off?
Or 33 affinity for large penises? What do you mean? It's big dick
That's
Nick.
true.
What do you mean?
That's
What do you
true.
mean? Come on.
Well, yeah, but then by average, if he cuts mine off, his is just bigger.
Is that Newton's
One
law
less
of
big
science?
dick out there in the world, man.
I think it's his second law. No one knows what it is.
Where a dick gets cut off, another one becomes bigger. That's Newton's second law.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
God.
What a horrible question to ask. Of
I'm
course
just
you're
saying.
going to take Nick Foles in that.
Okay, that's
Because
all
he's
I'm
won a
saying.
game. But you're talking about a franchise.
Do
That's
you
being led
trust?
by a guy
Hold on.
that's Never.
I just want to ask, what are the terms? What are the terms of this
Hold on.
relationship?
Do you trust the Chargers? You think the Chargers are a good football team?
I think they're a better football team.
No. Do you think they're a good football team?
I think they are a top 16 team in the league, yes.
Okay. Does it make sense for them to lose this, though?
No.
Okay. Then why is the spread what it is?
What's the spread?
-5.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Where is the game?
It's in Indy.
That sounds about right.
Okay. You want to? All right. So what are you giving me? You giving me 5.5?
No.
You
You just took them on a
okay.
money
All right. What do you take? What's the deal then, Aaron? Let's go, Mister. I got to get in these wagers. What's the deal?
I already got in one. All right.
We're gonna parlay
20,
this
20 30. 20 I'll pay out $30 to your charity, you pay out 20 to mine.
You'll pay at 30 to mine. You pay at 20.
Is
We're
this
gonna
in
parlay
relation
it.
to the other bet?
We're gonna parlay it with Bobby. Bobby and I are gonna go in together on this, and you and Todd are gonna go in this together. So we're gonna parlay it. We're gonna take moneyline Colts and Michael Pittman over 89.5 yards.
That's just too much I don't know.
What?
What do you
Come on. We're taking moneyline Colts and over 89.5 yards receiving for Michael Pittman Jr.
Okay.
Parlay.
I'm not taking the under of that. No.
Okay, we'll take 93.5.
No.
Put something out. Yeah,
I just did. I said I will.
No. We're
I'm
parlaying. Come on. Put your nuts on the table for the people. Let's go. Let's do a fun parlay. Let's do it for the people, Aaron. For Rally South Sports fans.
Okay, but how does that work when
it
one
pushes.
hits and the other
it pushes?
doesn't?
It pushes.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll take the 90. I'll take the 93.5.
93.5 Colts money line, and we're doing over 93.5 receiving yards for Michael Pittman Jr. and Colts money line, and we're just going to do a 20-20. Me and Bobby will pay 20 to a charity that you both agree to, and you when you guys lose this bet, you'll pay $20 to the charity that we agree to.
Well, no, that'd be 40-40.
You have a
No, 20 collectively. To 10-10.
10 and 10.
Yeah, 10-10.
You have a lot of confidence in a team that's run by a guy that's barely.
Todd,
close to
I'm
the
in. I'm in
NFL.
if you are.
I just have
I
have
am-
no confidence in Brandon Staley is what it is. I have no. It just makes so much sense for him to get fucking embarrassed again on primetime. I'm selling the Chargers so hard.
Here's the thing: is that they have to play the Broncos the last week of the season when it actually fucking matters. That's the game that you put your dick out against the Chargers. This is not the game. This isn't the game where they're going to lose.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
But if they lose today, they're still not eliminated.
What do you mean? Like if they
So they
on
can
Monday?
lose today and still be in that 7 seed, or they can
I
lose this
follow
week and still be in
I'll-
that 7 seed.
I'm in. I'm in if it's 2020.
Okay, 2020.
I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not. That's
All right,
small
let's
potatoes.
let's get it. Let's help some
It's
people
Christmas
out.
season.
I cannot wait for you to donate to a charity.
Todd, are we
I
in?
choose.
Are we in?
Yeah,
We're reaching for 20.
Yes, that's.
You know what's
fine.
going to be hilarious is when Michael Pittman
It
just
pushes.
fucking goes over 150 yards and they lose
by 30.
Yeah, because either way, it's fine. Because that's what's even if he gets 98 yards, they still lose by 2 touchdowns.
Or Michael Pittman gets hobbled off in the first quarter, and then the
Mhm.
Colts like kick a game winner with Blankenship to fucking walk it off.
Well, fuck,
Yeah.
Rodriguez
Another
hasn't
team
been
for a
in the
while,
NFL
but yeah.
since.
Yeah, he's back.
2017.
Christmas
Is he?
surprise. I have no idea.
This is gonna be my Christmas guarantee. You guys are gonna be paying up. I'm excited. Let's get it.
All right.
Sure.
It's $40. Todd will agree on a charity, and I can't wait
Mystery.
to support him.
It's
Merry Christmas,
a mystery. Love you, man.
Chat,
Thank
we appreciate it. Do you guys have any questions, any thoughts, anything you want to send to us before we hop off here?
It's almost 3 hours, Bob. Fuck them.
Yeah. All right, chat. From our families to yours, Merry Christmas. Be safe. There's some rough weather rolling through the Midwest. So make sure you got your blankets, you got your food. If you got your heaters, make sure you have them. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. And thank you guys for being here tonight.
Peace.
Cheers.